Peace, you too. Check on it. Check on it. Hey, DDD. I'm in my bug-in location. I'm inside my tent. This is Flurboom coming to you tonight, from inside my tent. Hey, Marcus. Hey, D. Hey, Omni Mystery. Hey, Kay. I'm inside my tent, bugging in. Salut, comment ça va? Bonsoir, bonsoir, Montréal. Hey, Merna. Hey, salut. Hey, salut. Bonsoir. Bonne noite. We going up? I thought I'd come to y'all tonight. So much occurring. If you want to know my location, I'm inside my tent. I told you I was gonna pitch up the tent. The tent is up. I'm inside my tent. It's pretty nice and cozy. I've got my. I look sleepy. I am sleepy. Bonsoir. I am sleepy. I won't be on too long. I wanted to kind of touch base. I was out running around today. Hey, the Philippines is in the house. Hey, Margot. Check on it. Put a handy dandy like on the video as you step in the room. Oh, who's that? Notre Dame de Code. Hey! You look sleepy too? Hey, Jose. Jose, I know you doing okay. I was gonna ask how you doing, Jose. Yo, what's up? What's up, New York? How's my far rock back? How's my family doing in New York? Arkansas, how's everybody in New York? Toronto's in the house. Hey, Tasha. Good? Aruba's in the house. Hey, Aruba. Montana. Everyone's coming in. I have a total anti-radiation room. Snake plants. I hear that. Shugite, bamboo, pink salt. That's what I'm talking about. Are you bugging in or are you bugging out? Okay? You had a dream about me the other night, India? I hope I was behaving myself. Hey, Hayden. Vancouver's in the house. Hey, Mina. Hey, Tribe. Northwest Montana in the house. Upstate. We good? NY is here. Feeling okay? Good. British Columbia. Brooklyn. What's good, Brooklyn? J Rob. What up, Kelly? West Coast representing. BX. Go get a Gloria. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, North Kakalaki. Hey, Divine Magic. South Kakalaki's in the house, right behind each other. Louisville, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. VA, Texas. Bronx. We got the full representation of East West Coast. Houston's in the house. Mimi and Susu. Hey, Susu. Hawaii's in the house. Hey, Yolo. Where you at, Yolo? Yolo's representing the West Coast. Texas is in the house. New Mexico. And ATL, Leanne. Kelly's in the house. Washington, D.C. North Jersey. What's good? Kelly's in the house. Massachusetts representing Cape Cod. I miss Cape Cod. UK's in the house. Michigan's in the house. Hey, Elena. Washington State Coast, Miami, Arizona, Mississippi, Cali. I'm fine. People are hitting me up from all over asking if I'm okay. I know you're okay, Jose. Georgia's in the house. Indiana, California. Okay. Rocky Mountains, Philippines, Queens, Sedona, upstate New York. We got a full representation. Do I look sleepy? I'm sleepy because I'm in a tent. Vegas is in the house. Florida. Us Floridians are chilling though. Listen, they closed the borders of Florida because all you West Coast, listen, you New Yorkians. Listen to New Yorkians. Y'all New Yorkians trying to get into Florida. They closed the border for y'all. They said you can't come because they think you all got the cucarachas. That's crazy. They got the borders closed. I was like, is it that serious? St. Louis and Kentucky are in here. That's crazy. All right, so family, let's get in the discussion. Please put a like on the video as you step in the room. I'm not gonna stay on long. I'm in my tent. I'm gonna go rest in a little bit. So the Planet X is here. Let me just, I don't want to even break the ice. Planet X is here. The Niburians are here, family. They are close. Daddy's coming home. And the last time the Niburians were here in a great number, the planet didn't look like this, and they didn't have a whole bunch of draconians running it. So Ish is about to go left 2.5 seconds. Let me explain something. Because there's been a change of, that's why there's a change of guard. The last time the Niburians were here, they had left their own people to watch over until their return, because it is a planetoid. Planet X isn't a planet, it's a planetoid. It's a ship, a mothership. It's a huge mothership, and it travels on the elliptical axis. So that's why it returns like every 3,600 years. But remember, their time is different than our time. Time is a artificial construct, created to create physicality here and gravity. Okay, for that reason, they experience a different form of aging. So let's just say that an average Niburian can live up to 1,000, 1,500 years. For them, that's like, we have dog years. Dog years are like, for every year of ours, it's 7 to dogs. Okay. So, 11:30 p.m. Fleur equals they have arrived. So just like for dog years, we have earthling years as compared to certain galactics, or celestials rather. I don't like to call them aliens, because some of you are more aliens than they are. Some of them are more indigenous here than some of the beings walking around here, clones, biobots, empty seeders. You got all kinds of grays here, grays overlaying on people, shapeshifters. These aren't natural beings on this planet. Okay, so they're coming home, and you're getting a whiff of the earth changes that come along with that mothership coming so close to our gravitational pull. And if anyone ever knew, even in Ecuador, there was 2 huge meteor sightings that shot out of the sky. You're getting that all the time. You have the locusts going bonkers in East Africa. You got black birds. Listen, you got black birds we haven't seen in Florida this many, not just ravens. We get ravens, crows sitting on top of those Sankji towers. Okay, so it's on a poppin' family. The family's home. Daddy's home, and he's pissed off because he's coming to a dirty planet, and his children have all been enslaved and mistreated. It's just like the Cinderella story in reverse. Remember, Cinderella's stepmother took over after the father died? Well, basically, it's the same story in flip mode. When the Niburians were here, they left their own guardians to make sure that there was a healthy homeostasis while they go around the elliptical. They don't stay here. They travel here, and they usually mine the gold. Okay, so remember, they're master eugenicists as well. Many you call them Niburians, you call them the Anunnaki. Anunnaki is a very generic term. I don't use it anymore because it just doesn't make sense. Anunnaki is a generic term. It just means people from the from out there. Okay, so the crows are all over the place because of the frequency wars that they're cranking up right now. Okay, I just cursed out. I didn't really curse out. Anyone who owns their own home, you'll know that they're going around putting smart meters on everyone's house. Now, I had watched KT, is his name KT? He's I'm going to share the video. Yo, KT is like a genius. You know those Moors. He's probably from that Moorish bloodline. I guarantee he's an O negative. Just on his behavior, he's probably an O negative. KT went on off the other night. KT, what's his name? Y'all know who he is. KT. Oh yeah, KT, the arch degree. What? KT? Did anybody watch that? He had me like this. I was glitching. I was like this. Oh snap! Go KT. Go KT. His mind. When you get these super duper intellects, most people think brown people are stupid or ignorant or we don't have the mental capacity. That isn't true. Poor breeding causes ghetto behavior. Poor social socialization and social networks cause ghetto behavior. Most brown people that are come from, Mama Pill was very educated. She raised those boys. She's she comes from a very beautiful lineage. She birthed some sons that are masterful geniuses. And KT, let me what? I was like this. Did you put it? Oh, thank you, Marcus. Marcus put it. Listen, I was glitching out. I was like, yes. So we're gonna get into some of the conversation. I want to give him all the props. Okay, let me explain something. I want to give him all the props, not about the galactic stuff, but about the information that I'll kind of bar into this. Okay, arch degree. Yes, he tells it. He's more than a doctor. He is literally a science, like a fielded scientist. And this young man, that's what I'm saying. You look at all these Harvard people; these are just biobots. They're just, they're memory hoarders. They just hold on to information well. It doesn't make them smart. It just makes them collect information like synthetism and biobots. I always give props to people who have a natural intellect, means they always have a drive to investigate and search and read and really discover. And their minds are so far expanded that they're able to take in information with a mastery. He makes me look like I'm in first grade. That's what I got to give him props. Anyway, so let's get into conversation. You can look at that video. Marcus put the video up. You got to watch it. It's masterful. You should listen to it. I'm going to sidebar. I'm going to bring that into it. But we're going to talk about the Niburians, Planet X. It is back into its orbit, coming closer to Earth. You have massive earthquakes. I told y'all to put your seatbelt on. What did he talk about? What didn't he talk about? He's going into that Saint G. He's master. Oh. You gotta, excuse me. You gotta listen to it on your own. It's. I can't even. Yeah, Anyway, big up to Aline Bay. I love Aline Bay. Big up to Aline Bay and his wife. I'm cool with them. They came to my house. I don't know if you guys know, Aline Bay came to my house 2 years ago. They came and chilled at my house for a bit, and we did a little documentary. Really sweet. Big up to them. And his wife made me the most amazing vegan. When I went to the conference, she came and made me a personalized vegan pizza, which was the bomb.com. Big up to them. Okay, so let's not get off the conversation. So Planet X is here. The planetoid is a ship. We had Michael came on the show the other day. I'm probably going to bring him back on. I don't want to really scare you guys too much more. So I have to be very careful when I bring someone on, because many of you get a little nervous and I want to keep your frequencies high. Okay. So because this mothership is bigger, I think it's about 10 times bigger than planet Earth, because when it orbits us, it basically recalibrates the way that our magnetic field shifts. The pole shift is attributed to the orbit of this ship coming back into placement every 3,600 years roundabout. Okay. So when it comes close to us, you start to see, as soon as it gets a little closer, the Hopi talk about as many prophecies talking about the comets that show up, the blue Kachina, the red Conchita, that's basically talking about the different comets or the different planetoids, because moons come with this planet too. It has several moons attached to it. Okay, remember many years ago, those of you from Flipper, can you do a live chat? Billy Carson, I don't want to do anything with Billy Carson. Nah. Nah. I don't know if you would listen to my video. No shade. Just, I'll keep it real. He's not my cup of tea. He's a more, we're adverse, energetically. It's not my people. Okay. I talk to my people. He already talked to another sea star. He's not my cup of tea. Okay. So, that threw me off. Okay, so whenever this planet, this ship comes around, it looks like it almost looks like a spindle, It has like this weird shape to it, almost like two circles around each other, kind of intertwined with spokes on it. It's a ship, like a wheel. Thank you, my love, a wheel. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get into the 10 days that's supposed. So I want to give you a couple of preamps to everything, because I got a lot of intel. I got a lot of galactic intel. I've got a lot of matrix intel. I got a lot of biobot intel. It's all good in the hood. Okay, Ezekiel's wheel. That's what it's referenced. Okay, so let me stay on point, family. Let me stay on point, please. Because you know y'all have me sidebarring. I'm gonna try not to read the comments, because when I read the comments, I love to engage you, but sometimes when I read the comments, I get a little thrown off. Okay, so please put a like on the video. We got 525 fabulous earthlings in the room. I always appreciate when you put a like on a video. It just keeps the video up longer. Okay, so every time the planet comes around, you have several different phenomenon that happen with the earth changes with the crust. Now, mind you, the crust is not as solid as people think. It's actually, our crust is actually layers of liquid. Okay. We also have the inner terrestrials, which reside on the inner earth. And as Dr. Delbert Blair used to always say, the most intelligent life lives on the inner earth rather than the outer earth. And guess what? I would agree. Because if you see all the madness right now with all of this military that they're sending into Cali, you got 1 million military coming into Cali in New York. That's what we're going to talk about, and why they're doing it is because daddy's home. Niburians are here. So with the coming back of the original beings that colonized the earth before many, there is going to be wars for hierarchy, because it has to be reestablishing of those who were originally here. Now, because we're also going back in the original direction, whereas the Nile, in one particular direction, it's going to go in the opposite equal end of the other direction, because we're going to go back to a binary system, because along with Planet X, it does have several moons that orbit it. Also, the suns come back because we go back into a particular placement and cycle where the suns come back. So that's where you're getting a heightened amount of magnetic energy. That's where that radiation is coming. That's why places where it's closer to the equator, like Australia, places where it's really hot, a lot of people who don't have a heightened amount of melanin are going to suffer. I already told my lunars that you need to get out of Australia. Do you see the color of the Aboriginals? The Aboriginals are darker than some Africans. That is for a reason. Okay, they are that complexion because they are the complexion of protection. They have a heightened amount of melanin because they absorb that beautiful radiation that actually drives their endocrine system. Actually, the Aboriginal will probably be healed once most people leave there and leave them alone, and that radiation will heal them. Okay, it will heal their endocrine system, and a lot of those allergies to alcohol and drugs will probably subside from not having access to it. You know, I personally think the colonization of Australia was highly horrific to those indigenous people, and in order for them to heal fully, a lot of those people who bring a lot of those chemicalized sugars and starches need to leave. Once they leave, a lot of the indigenous will, just like the animals are happy. You see all the rats coming out and all the animals coming out in places that are quarantined. You see all the carbon emissions going down because people went inside their houses and stopped traumatizing the earth. That's what happens. So because of that, you have the suns, the 3 suns. Now, for those who don't believe me, and you may think I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, you can go and research the suns. Many of you who knew me for over 10 years knew I used to take pictures of the first and second sun. I have several pictures on my Facebook, took numerous pictures when I first saw it, and the third one can be seen from Siberia as we speak. So there is a 3 sun deal Holyfield. And because of that, you have a heightened amount of magnetic energy that's coming, which comes with a lot of solar radiation. Okay, this wouldn't be a problem if there wasn't so many low field technologies that were literally dampening the immune system and the endocrine system of most people. Okay, so all I say is y'all should position yourself. Now they quarantine everyone, so many people, even some of your celebrities, are all quarantined. Wait, let me take a sip. Let me take a sip for the haters. Here's haters. Let me take a side sip for you. I juice mango juice. This is for my haters here. Let me take a sip for my haters. Anyway, so you have that going on. So you have several earthquakes. Now, listen, family, because of the earthquakes, we're going to be shaking and shimmering. If you don't know how to do the two-step, you better learn it real quick. The seismic activity is off the charts. They aren't documenting it. I was sitting in my truck yesterday, chilling in the driveway, and what did I feel? Brrr. There wasn't a truck that went by. There wasn't anything that shook it. It was a miniature earthquake. Now, when I looked at the seismic activity, it wasn't even charted. We're having several earthquakes everywhere. With the earthquakes and the seismic activities and the recalibration of the magnetic field, you're also getting a frenzy of animals acting in ways that are what's considered bizarre. The locusts are going into a frenzy because their environment is becoming changed. Locusts start to get in a frenzy when they're becoming unsighted by something. It's usually, sometimes seismically, sonically. You also have a lot of frequency changes with a lot of these bastards, utilizing sonic technology, frequencies, high field frequency emitters that cause for the insects and also the birds and the fish to act out of sorts. Okay, so now you're starting to see blackbirds and crows. Now, many of you here in Florida, I haven't seen that many crows before. I saw a host of crows sitting on top of a big, huge electrical cell phone tower. It must have at least been 100 of them. Now, I'm going to give you a homework to do. You know I'm a movie buff. You're going to go watch The Birds. Alfred Hitchcock's wonderful movie. So I can cause you a little more frenzy. Go and watch The Birds. Okay? I'm starting to see unnatural patterns of birds that I saw previously, but now it's to the 20th degree. The birds are acting out of sorts, especially having crows. Now, if it was just the difference between crows tend to hang in packs, whereas be careful you don't see ravens. Ravens tend to travel in twos. Okay, the two. You'll usually see two ravens together. They usually don't go in bigger packs than that. Sometimes when they're going through, this is the season for most birds to mate. So you may see, the birds, collect a little bit. But right now, I haven't seen this many crows in Florida ever. 100 crows sitting on top of a power line. That doesn't make sense to me. They're very, they get a little anxiety ridden with frequencies, but something they did differently, that these birds are attracted to these power lines. I've never seen anything like it before. So do watch the skies. I know many people are in quarantine, but y'all should, if you are preppers, you should have your telescopes and you should darn skippy have your binoculars. I am nosy and I'm a woman of a certain age and I got my binoculars ready and go. Listen, I'm looking up right now. Y'all should have your eyes on the sky and see the patterns of the birds. Also, if you're living in places where the birds normally cheep or you hear frogs, one thing we denote, if something goes down, you will hear the birds stop singing, you will hear the crickets stop singing, and you will hear the frogs stop. If you hear that, it's on and popping. The only time they will stop is if there's some sort of pulse that they feel that we don't feel, like a silent pulse that they usually get initiated first, and then we get it. So if you see or witness the birds, especially if you have a lot of grasshoppers, birds, or crickets, or grass, or locusts, or cicada, or frogs stop automatically and sink, I would go outside and get in your tent. Get out of the frequency, because wherever it's going to hit anywhere electric. Get away from power lines. Get away from power lines. Get away from the walls. You got to be careful. Listen out. Okay. Look at the skies. Right. There's fireballs in Ecuador right now. Okay, so now we have this planet that's coming in close proximity, and because the Niburians who exist on that planet, who are the extraterrestrials, I like to call them celestials, they're basically here. There is a change of guard. Now, as many of you think I was going crazy, I did denote that those bloodlines of Sheba are going back into home court advantage. Okay, a lot of the Hebrews like to talk about the 12 tribes of Sheba. Okay, 12 tribes of Sheba is some biblical, it can be very Hebrew text, but it's literally talking about the original beings that are genetically connected to the Niburians. Okay, 12 tribes of Sheba also include the Mayan Andromedans, which Flurburn is in contact with. Okay, usually they're reminiscent of the snake and the serpent. Okay, so because of that, there is a change of guard, and females will be ruling this planet after the pole shift. I am not guessing. I know this 1000%. They are setting up shop for the new matriarchy that is coming online. It is a queendoms that only existed here on the planet at the time that the Niburians were here. That's why you used to hear about Queen. That's why even during Kemetic times, you hear about Cleopatra. You hear about Nefertiti. You hear a lot of the queens. You hear about a lot of the women, because those are the ones who were that held high esteem, and they held they were leaders. That's who people listened to. They were the head. Okay, so 12 tribes will come from 4 different women. They will come from different backgrounds, and I kind of discussed this, I think, at the conference. I think I touched on that in the first conference. I'm not sure. So you will see a lot of women. Also, we have parthenogenesis coming online when so strong that I'm in shock. We have one, big up to the sea star. We have one sea star who has an actual friend who actually got impregnated without having a man inseminate in her. And it isn't a lie. And it's actually a person in our neck of the woods. Usually I heard in Kenya, I had already heard one in Nigeria. I heard a couple of India and the Philippines. It did happen. But now we literally have one that's in our neck of the woods. That means that the vibratory patterns and what's occurring is causing the women to go back into their natural state of replication. We were able to replicate ourselves. So at the time when there was a triple sun, at the time when Niburians were actually cohabitating here, we used to replicate ourselves. It wasn't required to have males. After Niburians left and that planet left the orbit, there were other beings that came here and colonized, and they manipulated the gene pool, and they separated males and females. They separated the original zygote female, and they made her, which was a natural hermaphroditic female, they separated her from herself, and then thus we got a male and female. Okay, because a lot of these other reptilian groups weren't female based. They didn't come from a matriarchy, and they wanted a different way to control the females. And one way to control it is to control their reproduction. Okay, if you control the female's reproduction and you make it that she requires a male to mate, she will be more prone to subject herself to lowering her standards. Lowering her standards and forcing mating. Let me stop. I'm just saying. Okay. Credo Mutra is also big up to Credo, rest in power. Credo Mutwa's death was also his transcendence, was also the notion that when he passed away, the torch was passed. He would pass as soon as the Niburians came home. So he held his position on Earth until his family returned. They did return. Okay. Let me stop. I love you, sun stars. Yeah, I'm in a tent. Okay, so I'm gonna behave myself. I'm sorry. Let me keep going. Okay, so you will start to see several different earthquakes. Now let's get into what's going on here. because the Niburians are returning, your handy dandy Willy Wonka and his League of Doom and the United Snakes of America and every other governmental officials have known this time was coming, and they're making sure that they are setting up shop to try to control the ebb and flow before the actual shift. Because when the pole shift comes, family, they want to have control, even though they won't be in home court advantage. They want to at least have some form of control over the sheeple that are asleep, and be able to at least comfortably position themselves so that they can at least be here after the shift. Because literally, and I wouldn't disagree with them. Why I understand why they're doing it is because we're awake, family. Many of us are awake. If you're on this feed right now and you're listening to this conversation, you're awake. You're woke. Okay, meaning that you already understand and understand and understand what's going on here. You've been awake. You know that this metaphysical world that we're coexisting with is a co-creative, interactive simulation. You understand that your thoughts are things. They co-create your reality. We all know this. So the majority of us would be okay to be here on Earth post pole shift, because we get it. We get the reality that we're existing in, and we understand and have done most of the work. But family, unfortunately, the majority of people out here, beings who have been genetically homogenized, who are basically led by social media networks that are entraining their minds, they are the ones that will lose their minds. They're already doing it. A man in India just ran out of his house and went and ate an elderly woman, ate her until she died. You got animals out here, okay? Because they're genetically homogenized. They've been eating genetically homogenized food. They aren't human. A lot of them are homogenized, okay? They have ill-fated mating. Remember I told you, if you mate crazy, you have crazy children. These are the offspring of off people. And these are the ones that are obsessed with money and the system and, making America rich again. These are all the ones who are basically those bio bots of the system. There's those empty seaters, okay? They're the reason why your dark Cabalists have decided to kick in Agenda 21 and times 20,000, okay? That they're messing it up for everybody. Because they're so asleep and unaware and unwilling to change or motivated to do anything else because they're genetically capped, that they're unable to do anything different. A lot of these people eat canned spam every day. I mean, I talked to a prepper the other day, and I just, I got to be careful because I can seem a little judgmental. I have to apologize. But when I'm talking to a prepper and they tell me, oh, I got tons of rice and beans and I got this, but they're smoking cigarettes and they're just like, and they're still eating spam. I'm like, are you serious? I didn't even know they made spam anymore. I'm just saying, family, those aren't the people that are meant to be here. The people who are meant to coexist, it's the meek who inherit the earth. It's people who are loving of animals, very empathic, very compassionate, based in unity consciousness. They aren't hurting their bodies by smoking cigarettes and then talking about they want to survive. These are people that are basically they're the same. They think because they're preppers that they're above and beyond the others, but they're just as bad because they hoard all the ammunition. They're the reason why all the ammunition is now $1,000 for basic ammunition. They're the reason they've hoarded all the toilet paper. These are the ones. That's why I wouldn't go in the Ozarks, because the ones in the Ozarks are so backwards and so low field and frequency. You wouldn't want to be with these preppers. They're animalistic, and if there isn't any meat to hunt, they will hunt people. Okay? I'm not scaring you, but I'm just saying, just because someone's a prepper does not make them conscious. It just makes them scary. It just makes them those type of people who want to be here post pole shift so that they can add their own piece of imbalance. All right? Anybody who's to be here after the pole shift should be balanced, should be based in unity consciousness. They shouldn't be a racist or a bias or species. They shouldn't be a complexionist. They shouldn't be those type of people. When I look at feeds on, certain sites and I'm reading the comments about, and them talking about they can't wait until they A-bomb the ghettos, I'm like, these are the type of people we're talking about. Do they think they're going to survive? And they wonder why Cucarachis is taking out their people. If you got that kind of consciousness, Cucarachis is for you. Cucarachis was detailed and engineered to hit those people who have that kind of consciousness. So if you are backwater and you are prejudiced and you have feelings of speciesism and complexionism all in your soul, you got Cucarachis waiting for you. Cucarachis is coming for you. It's got your name on it, along with a nice dose of radiation called Sank-G. Because your gene pool won't be able to survive it with that consciousness. Anyway, a sidebar. So let's go into, it's getting dark out. Turn the lights on. Got my ghetto light in there. Okay, so let's go into what's going on. So now you have your scaries. Let me go into Sank-G. Let me go into, I did 50 million prepper videos. I've done prepper videos. I've done so many prepper videos. Nobody listened to me. When I was doing prepper videos, everybody thought it was crazy. When I did prepping videos, people said I was insane because I told you that this was going to happen. Remember that? I used to get people coming on my feed saying, oh, she's making $50 million on YouTube to talk about prepping and she's a liar. It isn't going to happen. She's paranoid. She's inciting fear. I'm just saying. How paranoid was I? Anyway, so what's happening now is that they understand, overstand, and understand that Planet X is here. Niburians are coming here. A lot of Niburians are in South Africa. If you see any African nations that are kicking out colonists, it's because they have Niburians there. I'm serious. I couldn't make that up. African nations are literally kicking out people who colonized and destroyed those areas, creating speciesism and complexionism. They're kicking them out because the Niburians are there. Okay, Niburians are coming and they're not too happy about how they see the state of things. Okay, now most people, listen, I don't say that celestials or extraterrestrials are good or bad. It depends on what side you sit on with them. Okay, because if you're down with a particular species, like if y'all are down with the draconians, you did well for the last 2,000 years. If you were down with the draconians and the grays, you benefited financially, financially, socially, if you were down with the draconians and the grays. So it depends on where you sit on the fence, sit on the side. So if you were down with them at that point, you benefited. So that's why I say you can't really say bad or good, because it depends on who you are in the spectrum of how they, what your lineage is connected to. Okay? Because now that the Niburian is home and it's matriarchy holding home court advantage, it's the 12 tribes of Sheba that will hold the highest hierarchy. Where do you sit in that? Where do your ancestors sit in that? Were you participating in the genocide? Were your family members or your lineage participating in the genocide of those who are from the lineage of Sheba? That is why the Zionists are scared. Because the Zionists, the Khazar Jews, are the ones who participated in a lot of that genocide under smoke and mirrors. Okay? So if you're sitting on that tier, you would be concerned, wouldn't you? And you would create whatever you needed, smoke screens, NBC, ABC, and you would create all kinds of divergence and confusion so that you and your cronies can get away safely. Okay? So right now you have a battle between a couple of different backgrounds. I told you it's a combination platter. It isn't just one thing or two. Most people want to sit down and say, oh, the white hats, or the black hats, or Trump is good. No, it's a multitude of hands right now trying to fight for supremacy and for placement in a new cycle. NBC, ABC, CBS, anybody who is anti-Trump is on one side. They are the Cucarachi stimulators. Listen to what I said. Anybody who is anti-Trump, they are Kukarachi stimulators. They are the reason why this fear tactics and that the Kukarachis is even a factor in what's going on right now. Okay, they all are participants in it. Those are the Satanists and Luciferian and the Mace and the I don't want to say the 33 Masons. Oh, thank you, Elijah. And Gian and Leal in the house was good. They are the reasons why there's lockdowns. They are the reasons why there is mass hysteria. There is a reason why there were foreign agents that are being released into the populace. They're the reason. So if you want to be angry at anyone, if you are anti-Kukarachis and anti-quarantine, then you need to be pissed off at that side of the pendulum. NBC, if you listen to CNN, NBC, ABC, Fox News, they are all ran by the same agenda riding Satanists and occultists. This is an occult war at least. I listen to little people. This is an occult war. Okay? So right now you have occultists who have plotted and planned this since the Nazis since they got intel from the Nazis in the 1930s. Okay? Hey, Kooka. I'll be done. Since the 1930s. Now, what most people don't realize, and this might upset a lot of people, is that Hitler had intel from those from the future. I told you these were tall whites from the future, interdimensional beings that traveled here. He got intel. Hitler and the military then got intel and technology exchanged. But what he was told was that the Zionists in the future were causing all of the upheaval. He wasn't trying to kill off Sephardic Jews. He wasn't trying to kill Africans. He wasn't trying to kill off those who were non-whites. He was trying to genocide a faction of beings that in the future that would be controlling media, banks, everything. And when he did that, he didn't realize he was being utilized also, because by him doing so, he actually created a smokescreen, because that was the cover for the Zionists to bring in this whole anti-Semitism movement. So by doing the attack on the very beings that he felt and got intel for the future, he was actually being utilized to par, because by him doing so, he created a protection for the very beings that he was trying to genocide. So he created a shield, because after the whole World War II, what happened? The Jewish Ashkenazis, I have to state this because we're not talking about the Sephardic Jews. It was a particular Jewish bloodline. The Zionists were highly protected, and there were laws that protected them to the utmost because of the empathy and sympathy of the populace, because they created a way they created an excuse to take over, because now if you did anything towards them, they can say that you were trying to genocide them and trying to create a Holocaust all over again. So in the Nazis, they didn't realize they were being used, because the ones from the future, which are the tall white aliens, they knew what they were doing. That's why you can't change the future. All you can do is share something, and by then initiating the truth to those in that particular scenario, they actually were the catalyst to what we're dealing with right now. We have a Zionist infection. We have an infection, a cancer, and it's called the Zionists. They rule over every nation. If I talk to the Caesar in Sudan, Myrna, big up to Myrna, and Saudi Arabia. They took over Saudi Arabia. They took over every Middle Eastern country. They are basically holding all of the monetary backing in every Middle Eastern country for most of them. And the ones they don't, they end up utilizing United Snakes as America to go and bully and take over those nations and destabilize them, to take over, to create a coup so that they can sneak in and take over at the top. Okay, because in Saudi Arabia right now, the C-Star told me the domineering group right now are foreigners that are not even from Saudi Arabia that are killing, that are ruling. And when they came, the majority of children there are being molested. Child molestation and child kidnapping is at the heightened degree in Saudi Arabia. It would make you cry. Whenever the Zionists come in, they bring in pedophilia. That is what they do. They are anti-human. They aren't us. Thank you, my love. Thank you, 44. Okay, so I just want to give you a little history, okay? Not herstory, history. I just want to give you a little history. The Zionists are Satanists. They're Luciferian. They're all part of the same occult sect. There's different tiers of them, but they're all interrelated. They all lie in bed with one another. They all sleep with one another. They all breed with one another. They are NBC, ABC, all of the celebrities, the majority. Let me say this. Let me not say all. I don't want to do that. The majority of celebrities that have tasted the rainbow, that tasted success over the last 30 years are all Zionist puppets, pimps, or whores, or them. They are all party to that. Everywhere that you look is a Zionist who rules and has a hand behind everything. Best believe it. That's why anti-Semitism, that's why you can walk around and see people walking around with yarmulkes all through United Snakes, but a person wearing a turban can get attacked. If we're so anti-Semitic, why are Ashkenazi Jewish people so comfortable if that's the case? They would hide themselves if we're so anti-Semitic. If they were so fearful of anti-Semitic antics, why do they feel so comfortable walking around everywhere and they haven't ever flinched an eye or were shook up? And if ever they don't get their way, best believe a false flag in the neighborhood will come and they will have their own people go and spray paint anti-Semitic things on the temples, on the temples, so that they can reopen the wounds of anti-Semitic, the Holocaust, so that they can have more lobbyists and laws created to protect them more. So whenever it gets a little too loose and they want a little energy their way, they will create false narratives. That's why a lot of your ISIS, that's what they call them, ISIS. Did you know that the ISIS that were coming out and taking films, they were actually Ashkenazi Jewish people from Israel? Did you know that ISIS was headed by a Hebrew mafia that was pretending like they were the Arabs, the very Arabs that were being accused of being terrorists? Okay, so I'm digressing. I'm sorry, family. Okay, let me take a rest. Please put a like on the video. I'm on my rant tonight. I'm on the shenanigans tonight. Mount Vernon's in the house. Yafi can confirm. Yafi's in Israel right now. She can confirm. I don't want to get Yafi. I'm not gonna bring heat your way because they probably watching. They're like, oh, Yafi, oh really? Okay. So let's go back to the Niburians. So why you're seeing a lot of what you're seeing right now with the cucarachas, the T virus, that all has to do with the Zionists. That is what they're creating. Because remember, they created the Holocaust. They do this so that they can create a narrative, so that they can bring in something that they want. Okay? So they've created this. Now, mind you, yes, the T virus is affecting people. Let me explain something. There's a true virus that was disseminated. There's two different ones though. Okay? Mind you, there was a T virus that literally was engineered purposefully to affect the Chinois. It was killing Chinois, and their own Willy Wonka was down with it. Let me explain this, family. Their own Willy Wonka was down with it. But the T virus needed one huge catalyst, because the T virus is a frequency virus. It is a sync G virus. It requires a catalyst. It isn't coming from the outside. It is being initiated by a frequency that causes your body to react and attack, and then and lower its immune system. Then you're susceptible to any flu, any cold, any virus that's in the environment. So literally, it is the sync G that is affecting the people. When they turned it online all over in Xinhua's neck of the woods in Wuhan, they did it, and they did it all at once. Now, family, I'm going to give you more information. This is why KT is amazing. He is the bomb. Listen, this young man, and I think he's my age. I call him a young man. I think he's my age. This young man, this being KT brought it home. Why do you think those black boxes are showing up all over? I didn't realize what they were doing, family. I'ma bring it home. St. G requires short wave distances to have a connector on each pole, because that's how the St. G works. It needs to have a transmitter on each and every box, on every pole. So big up to Paula. Paula's in Brazil. Remember, is in her neck of the woods. Remember, she's the one that gave me the picture for my Instagram. Big up to Paula. She showed me that they were putting up black boxes, and they were doing it back to back. And when she asked them, they said they were a privatized company. She said, why are you doing this? Why are you a private company? Are you part of this company, They said, no, we're private. Do you remember when I shared with you on IG also, the father asking the officers who were watching over a school, and they were standing around a tower, and he asked them, what are you doing? And the officers were acting like he was a criminal for even asking. In my neighborhood, I think I shared this with you already. In my neighborhood, all of a sudden we're having cucarachas around. Why is it that they're giving out smart meters and they're upgrading on everybody's house? They just, remember I told them, I reject you, I rebuke you, it wouldn't happen over here. And guess what they wrote me? They wrote me a letter today. Duke Energy, big up to the bastards Duke, wrote me a letter saying, hey, we want to upgrade your technology on in your home. We wondering why you didn't get the upgraded smart meter. You know what they're gonna get? A middle finger from me. Yeah, I don't curse on here, but you darn Skippy, they will get. I rebuke your smart meter. They're putting it on everybody's house. Now, if you live in an apartment and condo, you don't really have a choice, but private homes, we have choices. I said you could throw it up wherever it doesn't shine. Okay, so they're putting smart. That is the black boxes. Listen, family, we thought it was just the black boxes. No, the smart meters are also those black boxes. They do exactly what those black boxes do. They have to put it, because they're short wave radio signals. They have to be on everyone. So if you go outside now, you will see on every one of your poles, you will see these black boxes, and on everyone's house, they're putting these smart meters. They are going to kick off after the 10 days or 3 days of no internet and no transmission. When that sucker comes back on, y'all better be away from your doors. You need to be outside. You need to protect it in your little zone, because when it kicks back in, that St. G is gonna go wire. It's gonna go fire in the yard. Do you understand me? It's not the turning off that you should worry about. It's when that sucker kicks back on. That's when the real zombies of the apocalypse is going to come online. So I've already prepared you. Y'all know what you got to do. Make sure you aren't sleeping next to your walls. I told you to get the thing to test it. It doesn't matter at this point. Be proactive. Make sure you aren't staying close to your walls. If you know where the smart meters are, you stay directly in the middle. Make sure you get your electronics out your room. Have a safe space where there isn't a lot of that transmission of that frequency, because it's going to come. It's coming. And that's what this whole April Fool's Day is doing. April Fool's Day was created because it was a 30-year goal that the fools, the sleeping zombies. Now, family with tattoos, I'm not going to scare you, but I'm going to give you a remedy. Listen to me. I told y'all not to mess with the tattoos. Anything metal on you, take off your metal. I can't suggest, you don't have to listen to me. You can again think I'm crazy. I'm probably the only person who will tell you to do these things, because most people be like, they're idiots. They won't listen anyway. Take the metals off of you. We don't wear brassieres anymore. My sea stars aren't wearing brassieres, so I'm not concerned about your wire bras. Take earrings, bracelets, everything off. You want to keep everything as clear as possible, because when you get that kind of frequency, we don't know how it's going to go. And if you have a tattoo, that tattoo has metal in it. Now, this is why you have to listen to KT's. I'm gonna share the video, KT's video, because it's very, he mastered this. That those tattoos, that ink has little metallics in it, and it will go. That's why they were initiating all of that in the hood. I was wondering for years, black ink, all this. Listen, I told you, family, it was a setup. They were promoting veganism, tattoos, everything to make this time happen. So if you have all these people have tattoos on their faces and all that craziness, let me just say to you, I would just make sure you got your body covered with something and you're in a spot that is not being initiated, because those tattoos may come live wire. Okay? I'm going to share the KT. Can someone, wait, Marcus, where's Marcus? Marcus is in there. Marcus, can you share the video for me, please? Marcus? I think Marcus is in here. If Marcus is taking a break. When Marcus comes back, I'm going to have him sharing the video. Because back in the days, I said the tattoos was a mark of the beast. No, but I got in trouble for it. I said, oh, they're coming from my sides. Yeah, KT, the arch degree. I told you the mark of the beast was the tattoos. They did that purposefully. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, my love. They were initiating the tattoo. That's why anytime they promote something, family, y'all need to be suspect. First of all, the brown community was never doing tattoos until until like 2000, late 90s, 2000. All of a sudden, there was this initiative to promote. You had the basketball players wearing tattoos. All of a sudden, there was this initiative for everybody to get tattoos. So, of course, sheep will follow. Everybody got tattoos on their faces, everything. You had every show showing all these cool tattoos. You had tattoo salons showing up all over Harlem. Anybody in Harlem? Harlem, big time. They had tattoo places all over Harlem. That was a PSYOP. That was getting you prepped and ready for the diabolicalness. Okay? So why? Is because they wanted, first of all, veganism isn't a terrible thing. Somebody was getting an argument with me. Listen, I haven't ever been anti-veganism. Family, let me state this again on record. Flurbrun was a vegan vegetarian for over 25 years. You've heard me say this 50 million times. I haven't ever been anti-veganism. Where I took issue is when it became a fad. Why are you fatting something? When they started to fat it, then I knew something was wrong. Why would you do that out of the blue? See, I came from that community, so I knew already that they were, I knew already that most people who got into veganism were all all animal lovers. Everybody that I knew pre the fad were all animal lovers. They didn't do it for health. No, nobody did it for health. I didn't know anyone who was a vegan for health. That's why a lot of vegans were sick back in the days. We all did it because we were standing our ground for the animal rights. Many of us come from that sect. So it wasn't really for that. It was for more so animal rights. When they started to initiate veganism, I realize now it's because they wanted to lower your immune system. Most vegans, new vegans, aren't healthy. They're eating a lot of starch and most of them are starchitarians. Okay, most vegans now aren't healthy. We're not talking about Rastafaris and people who've been doing vegetarianism for years. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the new wave of vegans that make videos all the day and they're just eating greens every day. I'm talking because somebody got in an argument with me about that. That's ridiculous. I love animals. Many of you know me for years. You already know. I think new people come on here and think I'm anti to vegans. No, I'm not. A lot of the vegans are hungry. A lot of the vegans that are hostile, that's because it's a PSYOP. If you're a happy vegan, you wouldn't be having to prove it all the time. If I'm a pretty girl, I don't go around saying I'm a pretty girl. If I'm pretty, I don't say, oh, I'm pretty. Oh, I'm pretty. I'm pretty today. Oh, look at my pretty hair. Oh, look at my pretty feet. Oh, look at my pretty eyes. That's insanity. If you about that life, you don't have to promote it all the time because it's a PSYOP. It was being propagated. The majority of celebrities that you watch that were promoting veganism eat meat. And a member family, I'm from that neck of the woods. I haven't been to any upscale venues, and I've been to a lot of things. They always eat meat. They weren't eating meat, but they would sit on and promote it. They were eating meat and stockpiling vitamins and minerals in their body because they knew what was coming. It was a PSYOP. So I'm not saying you can't be a vegan. There are people who are vegans to clean themselves and clear out their bodies. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Dr. Sebi was the bomb.com. Let me say this again. Someone said I had an issue with Dr. Sebi saved the brown community's lives. Listen to me again. I will say it publicly. Dr. Sebi saved the brown community's life. He made my life better. He made your life better. So many brown people have cured their diabetes, cured herpes, cured depression, cured sadness, cured all forms of all kinds of skin viruses, everything. Dr. Sebi was the one who did that. He was the only one who took his love and his pain and created a way for us to know nutrition in a way that saved the majority of our lives. Dr. Africa did too. Okay, so let me state this again, because somebody was saying Dr. Sebi is the bomb.com. There wasn't anything I could ever say negative about that man as far as what he initiated for us. Did an amazing job. A lot of the reasons to the staples that I eat today and what I give my children is because of Dr. Sebi. Okay, let's get back into the thing. I just want to verify that because there's people who are new to me and they hear one statement I say and they take it and run. It isn't true. I love animals and I advocated for animals for how old am I? I've advocated for animals for over 30 years from a little girl. I only became a vegetarian and vegan because of animals. Wasn't doing it to be healthy. Okay, and a lot of my vegan and vegetarian journey, I was sick. Because at the initial part of it, I didn't have a lot of nutrition. All right? Okay, so they promoted tattoos, veganism, to lower people's immune system and also make them very metallic. Okay? People always ask me about the tattoos. Yes, the tattoos are metallic. Why do you think they're going to put barcodes on you? Why could they put barcodes? It's the same ink. Did you ever ask them if it was vegan ink? What kind of ink did you put in you? That's why I hated that they promoted this in the brown hood community. Nobody ever asked what was in the ink. Okay? And that went all inside of your organs. And I wasn't the first person to say it. It was Dr. Delbert Blair said, don't ever put that garbage in your veins. He told me that. He was like, don't you dare. So anybody who has tattoos, what I will say to you is you need to cover those suckers. I don't know where you have them on your body, but you need to mute it. Put some sort of putty on it. This is, listen, I'm really, really resourceful. I am the most resourceful Creole you will ever meet. I would take putty and put that sucker on it to mute it. You need to mute your tattoos. Mute them. They're doing something crazy right now. Clay them, mute them. You could do it. Mute it right now. Listen, I just would do it. I would just put some Play-Doh on it. Put some Play-Doh on it, something to mute it. Something rubber, something clay. Put it on top. Just mute it. That's all I'm saying. Any type, you get creative with it. I'm going to just put it there, putty. Put something to mute it. This is a mommy's advice to you. I'm being a mommy when I tell you this. This is, if you have 8 tattoos, mute those suckers. Mute them. Put clay on them and mute them. Especially during this time. I'm just saying do it because you don't want to be totally overwhelmed by a frequency because too much is inside of you. Okay? Same thing with people who have, somebody said fillings. Chew gum. Gum is rubber. Okay? Don't ask, you know, I have to tell everyone because people will write me tons and tons of emails. I come to you, family, and I give you what I know. But you got to be mindful. I'm a person. I'm a mother. I have a mate. I have a life. I have a mother. You have to be, and when I give you some gems, take it and run with it. Don't ask me to babysit you and go through the whole thing. You're smart. You guys are the most clever beings that I know on this planet. Not because you're part of my platform. Please put a like on a video. Not because you're the smartest beings, but y'all are clever. Do what you got to do. Plug them. Mute those suckers. Mute them. Okay? I won't tell anybody else, but I'm going to tell my people. You mute them. Mute your tattoos. Okay? So they initiated those. So they lowered your immune system by making you a vegan. They did. Giving you artificial, everybody eating all this Beyond Burgers, which is all metal and nanotechnology. They're raining down all kinds of barium and aluminum out of the sky. They were making us super duper kinetic to charge up. So you just have to do it. So for the next 2 days, listen, April 1st is coming. I don't know. It just seems like April Fool's Day is coming up in the charge. Y'all need to go bucket naked, take the clay. My sea stars, you know how we get down. Clay from the rooter to the tutor. If anything I ever taught you all these years, you need to clay inside and out. You need to go and clay your hair, your face, your tatas, your bum, everything. Clay it up. Pull the metal. Do a chelation. And stay away from cooking, eating anything with metal at this point. I'm just trying to make you less kinetic. And try to stay away from wearing any metal jewelry, anything that's metal bras, metal anything, nano anything. Avoid silver at this point. Just keep everything au natural. Shaving, I already told you, shaving should be against, keep your body from shaving. You know, someone asked me about copper. Copper's metal. This is what I say to everybody who asks me about metal. I want you to take your copper bracelet and put it in the microwave. Tell me what happens. I want you to take your silver bracelet, put it in the microwave. Tell me what happens. I want you to take your fly gold chain, and I want you to put it in the microwave and tell me what happens. Okay? Why did we do an experiment? Why don't you take the colloidal? If the colloidal, I haven't tried it. I just thought about it. If you're worried about the colloidal, take colloidal. Put a little drop of it in the microwave and see if it sparks up. If that sucker sparks up, you keep it out of your body. You could test it. I need somebody to do it because I didn't do it. I don't have a microwave. Can someone do that? Can someone do it right now? Please put a like on the video. Please put a like on the video. Can you put a like on the video? Someone do it. Don't burn up the house. Please don't tell them I told you to do it. Listen, I'm only giving a suggestion. I did not tell you to do it. Can someone put a little colloidal and like the middle glass and see if that sucker blows up? I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm not messing. I'm staying away from any metal. Nobody has a microwave. Let's see who's going to do it. You said you're not going to. Nobody wants to do it. Oh. Copper IUDs, that's when you need to get that thing. Remember I had, when I was pregnant, I got the radiation thing around my womb. You need to get one of those. I don't know if you can get it I don't know if you can get it from Amazon now. You could have got it from Amazon and you could put it around. If you have an IUD that's copper, you could have put it on your tummy like we do when we're pregnant. Okay? You can get it. If you can get it, Mama, I would get it. Take it all out. Take it out. Take it all out. Listen, family, y'all could call me paranoid. You said this for years. You could call me paranoid, but if it works and y'all are safe, would I be paranoid? Isn't it better to be safe than sorry? You'd be like, oh, Floorburns gone too far. She tells you not to use pots with metal. She tells you not to eat canned food. Listen, When you see your friends dancing, like dropping it like it's hot, and they shaking up like the Wu-Tang shake that you saw on Shinwa's Neck of the Woods, they were doing the Wu-Tang shake. Do you think that was by chance? I prefer you be safe than sorry. So call us paranoid. Listen, I'm a geek. I'm a straight geek nerd. Every day, all day. Mount Vernon, New York, ask anybody. How was Dell? She was a geek. She was a little weird. She used to talk about aliens. She was very strange, but she was really cool, sweet, and kind, and generous. Okay? I may have some weird qualities, but other times, show us your necklace. You can see my necklace. Was that a freaky conversation? This is not ASMR. If you want ASMR, I have to take a sip for you. Let me take a sip for you, hater. Let me take a sip for you. You want to see my necklace? Let me take a sip for you. I don't wear this all the time. This is my necklace. This has this metal piece right here, and this will not be worn. But this is what you call it? This is what is it called? Oh my God, baby in the rain. This is oh my God, I say it all the time. No, it's Hannah Fatima, but oh my God, what did I say? It? Hematite. This little piece right here, this metal had me frying, but remember, it's not touching my skin. Listen, family, my metal necklace is not touching my skin right now. I won't have this sucker on. I don't sleep with it. I don't have it. That's the only thing I have on. Everything else I won't have is metal. Just take it all off. Hematite. I have hematite on. Hematite. Oh, big up to the Sea Stars who were talking about magnesium. We don't need magnesium either. I forgot. Listen, big up to the Sea Star and the Sun Star. Y'all still, yes, it is still metal. I will take it off, okay? I'm wearing it now in my tent outside my house, right? I'm telling you, take off metal. I'm not without metal right now. I said to take it off. Family, I agree. The magnesium is metal. The Sea Stars had to check us. They said it's on the chart, the mineral chart, and it is metal. It's a lighter metal, but it's metal. I was like, oh snap, magnesium too. So I won't be taking any magnesium. Listen, family, I'm trying. Listen, if you saw what I was doing today, you would think I'm crazy. I'm about this life. I'm just about this life. I'm just saying, call me whatever you want, but I'm gonna be here post pole shift. I'm having both arms, both legs. I'm have all my hair. I'm trying to be here. If you have braces, just chew on gum. Remember I said to take some charcoal. Listen, okay, family. We gonna go on all this. I can only share what I know. I don't want to make you super paranoid, but you already know how I get down. By the nature of you being here on this channel, I'm just gonna share what I know. Okay, charcoal, suck it all out. If it doesn't go through, if they don't irradiate everybody, then you'll be fine. You'll be like, okay, what's the worst? You didn't wear metal for 13 days. You didn't take a magnesium bath for 13 days. You didn't take your colloidal silver for 13 days. Okay, what's the worst? So I'm just saying, you might as well just, if you want to listen, and my advice is just my advice. This is what I'm doing. So a lot of times you ask me, Florba, my opinion, I'm giving you my opinion. Okay. All right. So we went into the metals, tattoos, clay it up, mute yourself. So are you saying metal is okay, but not all the time? No, metal, listen, we have metal on everything. All I'm saying is that when we know that they're about to jump off Saint G, we want to take everything off of us and in us that would make us kinetically charged. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying colloidal silver saves lives. It does. I have it in my bug out bags. It takes away viruses. It's antiviral, antimicrobial. It's everything. But when we have something when we have these bastards pumping us full of metals in the sky, in the food, everywhere. I hope your children aren't eating Kix and Frosted Flakes and all those cereals. My children, I didn't rear my children on cereal. We don't do cereal. My children haven't ever done cereal in the morning. Just be careful, because cereal has a lot of metals in it. Remember the guy who did the test with the Kellogg's, and he put the magnet next to it and it was pulling over? I'm just saying, just take what I say. You don't even have to listen. You could think I'm paranoid. Where are all your metal? Let's see where are your metal, and let us know where you are after the kickoff of Shang-Chi. That's all I want to know. Let me do something. Let me know where you are. I want somebody. If you think I'm paranoid, I want who's going to take the first step to go and wear all the metal and walk out when Shang-Chi is online. I want to see a picture of you post the Shang-Chi kickoff. Let me know that you're still alive. Then I'll recant everything. Okay? So, you know what I'm saying? You was just eating cornflakes. Remember, he did all the stuff has a lot of metals in it, family. We just said we should definitely do fasting, intermittent fasting right now. You know that this isn't normal. And I say to you, okay, so let me ask you the question. Can you all put a like on the video as you step in the room, please? If you want me to continue this rant. If you would like me to continue this rant. Okay, family, listen. When has there ever been a time in your life that you've seen 1 million of your own military come on grounds to guard people from a virus that has not killed any more people than the flu? Did they bring that military when people had AIDS? When there was AIDS, because AIDS killed a lot of people, did they bring all the military on quarantine you when AIDS epidemic was here? Did they quarantine you when the influenza, which just killed over 10,000 people, just killed them in 2019? Did they, in fact, quarantine you? I want to ask, were you quarantined then? Okay. Have you ever been quarantined in your house and them boarding up their windows in Soho? Soho is a safe neighborhood. Who's going up in Soho? They're boarding up their windows in Soho, and they have military tanks that are for war for a virus that hasn't even taken out 100 people in certain places. So, family, if that's the case, is this conversation odd to you? Is it odd that I would suggest to you that there was something else that is going on much deeper and much underhanded than perhaps any of us truly know? Okay, so when I'm suggesting that I know that in Wuhan, Xinhua's neck of the woods, that, thank you, Nicole. Mwah, thank you, my love. Thank you. In Xinhua's neck of the woods, when have you ever seen someone with the flu or any flu stand up and act normal and then drop to the floor and have a seizure for no reason? Do you know how many videos we saw that were leaked? Remember, they were leaked by them. How many videos have you seen of people standing doing regular things and all of a sudden they dropped to the floor like they suffocated, something took their oxygen from their brain, and they seized out? Have you ever seen anyone with a flu doing that? Nonetheless, AIDS or any other virus, usually it's a buildup. They're sniffling, they get sick, they get a fever, they're lying in bed, they can't really walk around. They're not walking around because they're not feeling well. That doesn't make sense because that's a frequency that attacked them. And with Shang-Chi, it eats up your oxygen. It disallows from oxygen from being absorbed. So if I'm suggesting to you to avoid putting metals on you, family, please take it or leave it. You don't have to do anything. You could wear metal. You could go around wearing copper. But I just want to let you know, let's see if you can put that in the microwave. And then another thing you have to take in, thank you, Diane. Another consideration now that we have to take in consideration is that a comet is also coming. I forgot about that. Thank you. Thank you, my love. A comet. We were going to get in that conversation. So not only are they doing this, why don't you know that the comet is coming? And why are they doing these precautions? Did you guys do your homework and watch Night of the Comet? Did you guys watch Night of the Comet? Do you remember that these people went outside excited to see this comet coming around, and the majority of people that were outside of lead containers dissipated into red dust? Did you see that movie? When they all dissipated in red dust that were outside of metal containers, and the ones who didn't get enough ended up becoming goons, scary looking people that look like zombies? Okay, so there's a comet coming. They have military Hummers and military equipment coming, and 1 million military people coming to your neck of the woods, and you think that this is just for a virus. Let me explain something, family. This is a multifaceted event. It is a multitude of different things occurring with a multitude of different agendas coinciding at one time. There are a lot of things happening at one time. Because this isn't something that we can say that we've ever seen and experienced before, I would say your best bet is to be as proactive and as cautious as you should be for something that you don't know what the true after effect would be. Okay, so let's go into Niburians. Niburians are here. You have a change of cycle, a change of guards. You also have a change in cycle. This is the age of Aquarius, so everything will come out to you. Every truth will come out to you. Everything will come out. Now, on a metaphysical level, on a spiritual level, everything in your life will be revealed. This is the greatest part about this. Everything in your life will be revealed. Every lie that someone's told you will be disclosed. Everything that isn't something that you normally would know will be disclosed. Every person that isn't aligned with you has literally chosen to be away from you, or vice versa. Most of you aren't hanging with the same people you hung with at least 2 weeks ago. I saw the most exchange of people that I've ever seen. I've seen literally the line in the sand more than I've ever seen in my life. The light and dark are on totally different sides. And you may be light or dark depending on how you show up to someone else. So that's why I say birds of a feather flock together. When I see certain people rocking together that I know are diabolical, they're all together. So you shouldn't have to guess. They're all, listen, twin flames, call it what you want. There's one side that is the Skeksis, and there's the other side that are the mystics. Which side do you sit on? Because the Skeksis are all hanging out with one another. I saw a video the other day with a homegirl that did dark things, and she's with another homegirl that's doing dark things. I was like, that sounds about, they're both Skeksis. And I may appear to be a Skeksis on one side as well, depending on them. Remember, everything's about perspective. I could be light to one and I could be dark to another. That's what I'm saying. You can't, it depends on your perspective. Okay? Yeah, the Skeksis are selling hand sanitizers and TP. You're right, Maria. Those are the Skeksis. Okay? Let's just say this. April Fool's Day to possibly the 10th. Now, I will give you this intel again. I think I said it on the other feed. I don't know if it was saved. I went and vetted out all of the cabins in Blue Mountains. Remember I told you I went on B&B? I went on B&B the other night. What was it, last week? I went on B&B and I checked out all the places in Blue Mountain. So I wanted to see if there was any cabins open. And every single B&B was booked until the 15th. Listen to me, family. Every single B&B I looked at in Blue Ridge Mountain, that's between um, Tennessee and Georgia. Okay, beautiful mountains. Remember, that's a prepper community too. Everywhere I looked over there, everywhere was booked until the 15th. I said, that's something wrong. How could they all be booked at the same time? Usually B&Bs, you get various days, various times, things like that. So I contacted one of the owners of the cabin. They told me that the military, the Willy Wonka, has blacked out every day from the 1st to the 15th. When have you ever had Willy Wonka take over our B&B till the 15th? That's suspect. Okay? Take that in consideration. Also, be mindful of those going into mountains. As I talked to my other intellist, remember when I gave you the story about those in the Swiss Alps and the radiation, the Sankt towers were turned up? Remember I told you that? And the people started running down the mountains because they said they were burning. They felt like they were inferno fire. Remember when I shared that with you? Be careful going to high ground right now. If you go up to high ground, the first place that's going to light up with radiation is the highest points. So anybody on the mountains is going to get lit up first. So be careful. This right now, listen, everything is strategic right now. Listen to your higher mind. Okay, DGT, you're gone. I'm not drinking Starbucks, and you're out of here. You're bringing too much up. If you feel like I'm a hypocrite or some sort of a PSYOP, I'm not for you. Okay? So anybody in high ground, listen, that's why I say you have to be proactive. There's times when you're going to need to go to high ground, but this isn't one of them. Because when we have a concern that Sankt G is going to light up, you don't want to be in high ground, because just like those Swiss Alp people that were all on the high ground, they were electrocuted first. They were zapped up first because they were at the highest point. It's going to hit high first, okay? Then it's going to hit the mainland, okay? What else? The concern is the 1st to the 10th. Now, family, if they turn off all of your electronics, it's fine. I don't know why anyone's upset about that. It isn't when they turn it off you should worry about. It's when they turn the suckers back on with straight up Sankt G. I'm unconcerned about them turning anything off. Y'all can sit in the tent. Listen, I'm in the tent now. I'm outside. I won't be inside. I put the lead paint on canvas. I'm put the lead paint. I painted my canvas with lead paint. So I'm going to put that sucker over the tent in case anything pops off. Okay? So, one thing I say is that once they have it turned off, you enjoy your days. You don't have to answer the phone calls from narcissists calling you, asking you what you're doing. You don't have to get calls from anyone that you don't want. Listen, you could chill out playing card games, everything. Listen, but be mindful when that turns back on, because they've been preparing. You're seeing all these workers. I saw another 10 workers outside. What are you doing? What is all the militaries? Why are you doing all this work? Why all this what's all this construction about? Why are they having all this construction around all the lights? Do you notice that, family? Note that in your neighborhood. Why are they having all these construction trucks? Aren't we in quarantine? So if we're in quarantine, why would you be concerned about fixing roads and construction? What are you really doing under the ground? Now, family, I will let you know, because when I went, and I like to do my testers, I take that tester and I test it. All underneath the concrete is lit up with radiation. When I do my tester, I have my radiation tester. You guys see me do it every once in a while. I take my radiation tester. All under the concrete is lit up. What the heck are they doing? So what are you doing underneath the ground? So Now you have them doing construction. They're preparing. Listen, family, whenever you want to try new technology, what do? You turn everything off, right? Right? What do you do when you want to turn when you want everything happening? You turn everything off. In order to make sure that Saint G works, you have to turn everything off and then reset it. And then when you reset it, you turn that sucker on, and then it's radiation blazing. Okay? Now, that's why I say to you, it's coming, and we're meant to. This is a new, family. I will say this. Let me kind of digress a little bit. This is a new technology. Why they're initiating this Saint G is because the Niburians are home. The celestial and extraterrestrial beings use this technology to be able to holographically interface with people. This is why you've got to watch KT's video. He's right on point. What do you think they have barium in the sky? So they can do holographs. You know what the barium's used for? So we think we're looking at stars, and we're really not. We'll think we're looking at the sun, and they're really not. It's a hologram. Blue Beam Project uses barium in order to create the holographic system of whatever you want to see. The biggest blue beam, biggest event was 9/11. When they used the biggest hologram ever, that people were standing right in front of it and couldn't tell any difference. Okay? So that's what that barium's used for. It makes the air very kinetic, the ionosphere. What do you think they're going to do? So don't be surprised if you start to see Jesus in the sky, or you said, remember, you already see, did you see it in Shinwa's neck of the woods? It's already happened. They put that Saint G on. Did you see all the harps? Did you see the angels or the harps in the sky already? They already started it. It's making it kinetic. We won't be using physical money anymore. You will be using digital currency, and also you won't use cell phones anymore. Just like this, where you got to listen to the video. He said it. You're going to start to kinetically, you think something. Remember we were talking about all of a sudden, why is it that we think something and our phones pick it up? Because the nanobots and nanotechnology is sentient. That's why whenever you think something, it will show up on your phone. It's going to go up another level. That's why they want the Saint G, because they've traveled in the future. They've already used this technology. You will think it, and it will show up right in front of you, because your ionosphere will be so kinetically charged from Saint G plus that you won't need a cell phone or a tablet or anything. You will think it, and based on that, the AI will interface with you telepathically, and it will just show up in front of you. That's what they want. That's where we're going. So it's gonna happen, family. Whether we want it or not, it's gonna happen. There isn't any, because we're going into a higher realm with higher beings. There isn't anything we can do to stop it other than to digress. And because not everybody is genetically created or made up to handle that kind of radiation, some people won't make it. Some people's bodies won't be able to handle the amount of radiation. Why do you think they've been harvesting melanin for over 20 years? Why do you think they've been taking all these brown babies from Africa, from the States? They're harvesting their melanin is worth more in gold on the black market. If you think I'm lying, go look it up. Because you require it in order to protect your organs from being fried. So all of the harvesting of the little melanites is because they've been hoarding melanin to try to uphold and create protection for them. Melanin and chlorophyll are very interrelated. You know, having a lot of chlorophyll has the same. Chlorophyll is very protective. It gives you a nice little shield. I always tell people, if you have sun issues, eat a lot of things with chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is very protective. It's like a natural it absorbs, you know, solar radiation well. Okay? And that is why a lot of the celebrities are melting. A lot of them are melting because the ionosphere, the solar radiation, and along with their adrenochrome consuming human flesh in order to hold up the hologram, they're unable to do it. So now they don't have their the elixir that they take from babies, and then they're genetically not even natural here, so they're melting. So this is why you should listen to this video. I can't say it as well as KT. I'm really sweating, homie. Let me state this. I am sweating, homie. There hasn't, listen, I get excited when a sun star can, listen, spark my brain. Woo! KT, listen. Let me take a sip for KT. Please put a like on the video if you're here and you're up for the shenanigans. Let me take a sip for KT. KT, listen, I got shivers. Listen, I was like on the end of my seat like this. What? I was having mental orgasms for like an hour. Is that too personal? I was having mental orgasms. There hasn't been a man who touched my cerebral cortex in that way. Woo! He hit me with the left. He hit me with the right. I was like, oh snap. I was like, what planet are you from? That's good mating. Mama KT, listen, whoever birthed that being, that's a goddess. That's what you create when you do masterful genetic mating. The intellect of a god. And he got a fro. You got, yo, I'm just saying, keep it real. Thank you, Marcus. He got a fro. He got a he's anyway, only a geek could, listen, only a geek can. I'm a geek. I get happy when I see other geeks. I get happy because I'm kind of whimsical. I love when geeks are just geeky and they're smart geeks and they're just right on point. He makes me look like an idiot. Let me stop. Anyway, so okay, so also he goes into which I love. He went into what is it? Quinacel, which is tonic. And I'm going to bring that up too, because tonic, he goes into it better, and I want to make sure he talks about Quinacel. Quinacel talks about, no, KT is not my boyfriend. If he was, we would have created a spaceship already. We would have been out of here picking all of y'all up. If KT was my boyfriend, we would have created a ship, and we would have been out of here. Anyway, so, yeah, that's their brother. Okay, so let me say this. He was talking about Quinacel, which is tonic. Now, what I love about this, and I want you to put this in your bug out, I have it in my house, and I thought it was interesting because I didn't really relate it to what he did. And that's why I say he really gave me chills, because I have to give, you know, sometimes people, if you're saying, he's my frequency, he is my frequency. There's people who have great intel, but they aren't your frequency. He is my frequency because the things that I carry and I haven't sometimes, I know why I have it for the reasons I have it, but he took it so far right. He took it so much far right. So let me say what you should have in your bug out, or bug in rather, because we're bugging in right now. Big up to all those in quarantine. We're bugging in right now. You should have definitely, definitely you should have what you call it, tonic. I love tonic because it gets rid of child. I'm a dancer, so I remember one time I was dancing, and I was dancing for like 8 hours. I was dancing. I was doing a video back in the days. I was doing a video and I was dancing for 8 hours. Okay, and I was really in pain, and I got Charlie horses, and my mom was like, oh, just take tonic. See, Caribbean, listen, big up to all the Caribbean mommies on here. My mommy said it just naturally. She said, take tonic. I was like, why, mommy? She said, take tonic. It will get rid of your Charlie horses. I was like, really? So that night I took tonic and it got rid of my Charlie horses. I was like, wow, that's really cool. So I always kept it in my staples because I knew it helped with that. But it was literally something, he knows the history of it. It really was something that got rid of fevers. So he goes into the whole story. KT goes into the whole story. I can't say it as eloquently or efficiently, and I don't want to mess it up. Okay. He talks about tonic. Tonic is amazing. And I get it, quinine. Thank you, D. Griffin, quinine. And I make sure tonic with quinine. I make sure I always have it because I was a dancer. So I always keep it in my thing. But you should have tonic in your bug-in situation. Do not get the can. Do not get the can. Let me explain it. You like tonic, right, Dollface? Do not get the can. Get the glass. It's expensive, but you will be happy. 4 of them is like $7 or $8. Get it with the quinine. It will get rid of fevers, and it also gets rid of a lot of weird kind of nerve issues and muscle spasms. Okay? You do the dark bottle, it's amazing. So he reminded me of why I have it, but I only had it because my mommy told me to get it when I was dancing. So I had it in my bug out for the longest time. I keep it in the house, but I wanted to tell you to get it because it's a good bug in staple. So get it, family. And also if you get Charlie horses, also remember the cucarachis. Remember when they were doing the cucarachis? Because the cucarachis was happening, I think this came at the right time. So I think if you get it, like if you're getting any sort of weirdness, I think it can help. Okay, so I got the tonic, I get the one in the glass. There's different kinds of tonic, but it has to have quinine. Make sure the tonic has quinine. Has to have quinine. Okay, tonic for those. What is it in Spanish? Because we have a lot of our family tonic. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire tonic? Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire tonic en français? Where's my Montrealans? Where's my Montrealans and my francophonic, my Creoles? Qu'est-ce que c'est? How do you say it? Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? Tonic? Tonic? I don't have the word in French. Tonic. Is it tonic? Is it? I don't have the word. Tonic water. Who has the French word for it? Aquatonica? Aquatonica. Okay. Tonique. Okay, tonique. Okay. For all the different languages, I want to make sure we have it in different languages for everywhere. Okay, parlez tonique. Okay. Make sure you have that in your bug-in situation. I think it's a good staple. All the toilet paper and all the toilet paper hoarders and all the hoarders of paper and all, they won't get all that stuff. They've left all the teas and everything. Quinine is an anti-inflammatory and also good for malaria. The medicine talked about to treat 5G is a synthetic component of quinine. Thank you, Jay Chin. Jay Chin brought in the facts. Jay Chin, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you, my love. Jay Chin came in with the facts. Bam. I love it. Came in. Bam. Like 1, 2. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. So y'all, the bug-in is your bug-in. This is a new bug-in staple. We got right hot off the presses. Based on KT's intel, I had it in my bug-in stuff, but I'm sharing it with you. It's unavailable on Amazon. See what I'm saying? You got to get out this, Saki. Get that quinine. Get that quinine. Real quick. That should be, fever-free tonic. Get it. Get it. Get it. It's in liquor stores. Listen, family. If you want to go in there with the wine and spirits, listen, they zombies. Be careful the walking zombies. But go in the liquor store. The liquor store has quinine. Because it's literally tonic is used with tonic and gin and tonic. Remember? So, rolling down the street, sipping on gin and juice. Lay back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Is it? Yeah. Gin and tonic is a lot of people drink that, right? So I want to play that song. I don't have my speakers out. I got in trouble last time for playing too much music. Okay? So go get some tonic, y'all. Quinine. Yeah. That's for your bug-in. Make sure you got your TC. We are unconcerned. That's why I was telling everybody. I was like, my people are unconcerned. We already are bug-in ready, prepared. Somebody was saying, what if you run out of food? You're supposed to fast anyway. Someone was saying that. I said, you're supposed to fast anyway. Oh, Kenneth is coming in with some intel. Kenneth. Just turn off the main switch of the fuse box for 13 days. Kenneth, you are the bond. I love you, Kenneth. We got some Sunstar. Listen, our alphas are coming in here. Kenneth, I love you. Thank you, Kenneth. Kenneth came in. See, I didn't even know that. See, See, my mate is with his mom. I don't know these things. Normally, he knows all that stuff. Thank you, Kenneth. I'm going to turn off the fuse box. Simple as that. Bam! Kenneth came in with the remedy. Turn that sucker off. You can't turn off. You can't turn on blast if you don't have any energy coming in the house. So, fasting, intermittent fasting is definitely a plus. Now, most people, part of all of the sheeple, all of the living zombies, the empty seaters, they're going to be boozed up. They're sipping on wine and spirits. They're smoking cool cigarettes. Becky Bott she's already asleep. She's been asleep since 6:30. She already wined and spirited herself to sleep. Her children are probably on the road with flashlights on their bikes, getting pulled over by the popo because, Becky Botts isn't watching her children. She's out right now. She's drank that last bit of, rosé, and she's out. 6:30. She was out. The children are out running the streets rampant right now. Y'all need to look after Becky Botts' children because they're out of control. Okay, she's out. All these people will be out, wine and spirit. All you need to do is fast. Fast it. If you feel a certain way, remember I was sniffling because we had the whole thing. All I did was stop eating. I just stopped eating. I couldn't get rid of the allergies from the thing. I just stopped eating. My sniffles went away. Fast it out. You got teas. Get those nice teas. Listen, you got teas in the house. Do some teas. You're breastfeeding. Do a little bit of tea. You should eat, mama, because you need resources. Do a little bit of that. I love the flaxseed milk. I bought 6 flaxseed milks as my steerage for my bug out, for my bug in. So you're breastfeeding 2K. So do the flaxseed, mamas. Do flaxseed and oatmeal. Have some nice oats. Have some oats, mommy. Make some staples for you. Some oats. Add a little bit of flaxseed in there. Some strawberries on top. There's my preggies. My preggies, you'll be fine. Add a little bit of that wonderful flaxseed. You put some strawberries on your oats. I love Scottish oats. I bought that beautiful heirloom Scottish oats. You do that. Oh my God. Then you can do like a mango salsa. Mango, you dice up. Listen, family, we could do a whole fast, intermittent fast, healthy kind of thing. Okay? The hospitals are empty. The hospitals are empty. I'm grateful the hospitals are empty. Tonic is non-alcoholic. Who said it? There's no alcohol in that. I wouldn't promote anything with alcohol. You shouldn't be having any wine and spirits now. You don't want demons. Listen, you're going to have demons hopping off of people right now. You got drug addicts, especially when people in quarantine, the coke dealers, the weed dealers. Ain't nobody going to nobody's house right now unless they living in the same building. So you don't have drug dealers, drug addicts right now are having a hard time. I told you, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I said the worst thing you could do is be in quarantine with somebody who has a habit. I was off of caffeine, so I'm not jonesing off of coffee because I've been off of caffeine for weeks. But you just need herbs. Thank you, Joe Rumbles. Oh, I'm flying. Oh, I love these. Look, I'm flying. Thank you, Joe Rumbles. Mwah. Thank you, my love. Yeah, you don't need any wine and spirits. Y'all need to be drug-free on teas and tinctures. You should just be fasting. All our pregos, anyone pregnant and anyone nursing, have your oats, have fresh flax milk, have some nice, make sure you have your omegas. So I told you to do that wonderful fermented cod liver. That's good for you and the baby. It's good for the baby's brain. You need those omegas. Make sure you have lemons and limes. I love key limes in the house. Always have key limes. French people, we have key limes. Make sure you have nice, I love to have, you're currently pregnant. That's it. Have some omegas. Have some oats if you can tolerate. Some strawberries. Have some fresh fruit if you have I'm not a fan of apples, but have some fresh fruit in the house. Okay, mama? It's best that you guys eat enough fruits. If you can get that, if you need a little more fat, add a little flax to anything. Flax makes everything nice and thick. Okay? If you can get some, couscous, some wonderful, I love quinoa. Quinoa is amazing. Quinoa is amazing. Oh, I love to make quinoa porridge. Flax smoothies. Melanie High Priestess flaxseed smoothies. Oh my God. Listen. Don't listen to the toilet paper smugglers. They're mentally ill. Okay, so family, let's go on. We'll talk about food. You know I'm a thickums. I talk about food. I get excited. Listen, why I'm the best faster is because I'm in love with food. So I'm really good at fasting because I know the extreme version of the opposite of what I do. I fast amazing. I'm the best faster, but I love when I go back to food, I love food too. All right, so okay, so let's go. So listen, you got boots on ground, you have a military. Let me state this. Anybody in the NYC and Cali, stay in your houses. Y'all should have everything you need right now. Y'all shouldn't go out for anything. Listen, they're doing something so crazy, it's gonna be a false flag. Listen, there's gonna be a false flag. It's going to be explosions, mass chaos, riots. Stay your tail feathers in the house. Mind your business. That isn't your frequency. Stay out of your frequency. Anybody who did the rainbow shield, y'all already safe. But if you didn't do the rainbow shield, stay your tail feathers in the house. Fast and do what you do. Sit down, chill out. If you hear booms, mind your business. Stay away from the windows. Sit in the middle. Okay? You just got to pound a moringa and ginger. That's what I'm talking about, Jose. Just chill out. It's going to be mass pandemonium out in the street. When those lights go out, listen to me, family. Y'all, listen, I don't want you to watch that movie, but I'm going to make you do it if you don't listen to me. You need to watch the night. What was the blackout? Remember the blackout? What was that movie? Streets of New York? What's that movie? Was a blackout? I will make you watch that movie if you don't listen to me. No, you shouldn't be fasting if you're carrying a baby. You have to eat. You have to eat if you're pregnant and if you're nursing, you have to eat. You should not fast. Let me state that. I did not say that they shouldn't eat. I just said you can have some yummy things. Make sure that you have yummies in the house, preggies. And most pregnant women already have people who will cater to them. So preggies and nursing mothers, you should eat. Just eat healthy. Okay? And have omegas. Have your omegas. Okay? Yeah, what is that movie? Don't watch it. Don't watch it because I don't want you watching it. That's not on the homework list. But I'm just telling you, was it Escape from New York? Yo, there was a blackout. It was mass pandemonium. Stay your butts in the house. Okay? Stay your butts in the house. If the energy goes off, you know those pretty candles that you never use? Light them suckers up. Okay? Put those pretty candles up that you always never use. Put them in a bowl. You know those floating candles? Put some floating candles in a bowl with some essential oils and have that frequency going, okay? And we're going to be like the natives. We'll go to sleep with the darkness and we'll wake up with the dawn, okay? Wake up with the dawn. You don't need light after 1 o'clock. We're spoiled. We're ruined. We're supposed to be on circadian rhythm anyway. When you fast, listen, anybody here who fasts, we go straight on circadian rhythm. As soon as I fast, I go to bed. 6 o'clock, I'm trying to go to sleep. And as soon as that sun peeps out the sky, I'm up like the birds. Circadian rhythm is amazing. So if you end up fasting, you'll be better off. Mind your business. If you hear booms outside, unless it's blowing up your house, you don't need to mind. You don't need to look. And don't open up the door unless they identify themselves. Let me explain something. There's going to be a lot of craziness. You shouldn't open up the door for anybody. Okay? I don't care if he says he is Beetlejuice. What's his name? You shouldn't answer the door. Okay? Somebody knocks on your door and says, "Hey, I need it," because you already know Becky Body slept. So when she gets up, she don't know how to cook. So Becky Body's gonna knock on your door. Becky, I'm sorry. Sorry, Becky, I'm in quarantine. Sorry, mama, I opened for 0. Okay? Keep your door closed. Becky Body's going to have to learn her lesson. She should have been awake and aware. She shouldn't have been drinking and dropping it like it's hot at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Sorry. Where's the children? You need to yell. And if you see Becky's children outside, yell out the window. Get in the house. Threaten them. Threaten to take away tell them that their mother will take away their PlayStation or whatever. Just threaten them. They'll go in the house. Tell them that there's no more, you'll eat all their pizza in the freezer. They'll go in the house. Just threaten them, okay? Get those babies back in the house, but don't go out, okay? Stay in the house. They're trying to do the census right now. Why are you doing a census right now? Why are you doing a census? Because you want to know how many people are you want body counts for the FEMA coffins? Oh, I rebuke you and your coffins. So I told you what my response is for the FEMA for the census. This is my reply. Bam. I'm gonna be invisible. I'm gonna use my superpowers and I'm gonna be invisible for the census. Listen, you want to know the census? There is 0.0. I'm already reached 0 point. That is my census. I've reached 0 point, and that's where I'm at. I've already hit 0. I'm invisible. That's where I'm. That's my number. I'm invisible. Um, and also for those with the stimulus package, I don't know what they're offering you to sell your soul. If you take that stimulus package for doing the census, you already sold your soul. You get whatever you deserve at that point. You hear me? If you take the money to do the census, you already sold your soul. That's the test. That's the metaphysical test. Are you going to take that $2,000? You going to sell yourself out for what? Because all it is fiat. If you're already abundant, what do you need that fiat for? I'm just telling you, family. You'll be like, oh, I could buy a new flat. Where you gonna buy a flat screen TV? It's gonna blow up in 2 points. My TV already blew up. All right, y'all. So, oh my gosh, thank you, Alice. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for the donation. Thank you, my love. Yeah, so, okay, so let's recap, everyone. The cucarachis will impede on those who are low field, frightened, and in the frequency of diabolicalness. Okay? Stay grounded and stay in abundance and stay in awareness. Okay? There is a change of guard. Yes, the old system is collapsing, and yes, there is a new system being reestablished. There are many different beings that are desperate and trying to hold on to control. The Satanists and Luciferians. Oh, wait. Marcus is giving us intel. Hold on. Breaking news. Fleur, the stimulus package is going to every adult citizen who filed their taxes or will file. It's stepped up as a direct deposit for those who got paid through what's DD? What's DD? Want to come lie in here? Mm-hmm. Bring your thing. What's DD? What's DD with their taxes? I didn't file my taxes yet. I'm not going in the tax office. Oh, did anybody get their direct deposit already? Oh, direct deposit. I'm sorry. Stimulus checks are for what everything closed, economic about to collapse. You gin wipe here. I didn't do taxes. I'm not going to the Kukarachi Central. You got to go and do the Kukarachi dance to go up in the tax office. Nah, son, nah. Oh, what? Yeah. It does 2018 if you didn't file 2019. Oh, it did I don't know. Call us. Remember, she said have some. Yeah, I told you to have cash on hand. Uh-oh. Turn it back on, babe. I told you to have cash on hand. Y'all should have had 3 G's. I told you to keep 3,000. Oh, I'm loud. Uh-oh. Okay. Let me not explain that. I told you to have some cash. Y'all should have cash on hand. Okay? Y'all should have poker money for poker. Okay? Because this is poker right now. Right? So make sure you have some cash. That's the number one thing I told y'all to have over a month ago. And if you listened to me, you would have had some. Okay? You don't have 3,000? Then $30 will do. Have what you have. You'll always have what you need at the time you need it. If you don't got 3,000, you should at least have $100 in your pocket. Well, it's just, you always want to have cash on you so you could dip out. Or you could have some, if something goes down, you still have money so that you could get groceries or gas. Okay. So that's all it is. So you don't have to have 3,000. You can have $10. You can have $50. You can have $100. Just having enough money on you so if anything goes down, you can at least go to the grocery store. Okay. That's all. Or have things to trade. Yo, that's the one time I tell you, if you have SIGs, listen, if you have, listen, my mother, remember, my mother got sick, so she can't smoke cigarettes. Wait, I believe income below, okay. Listen, my mother gave up cigarettes. Well, she gave up cigarettes not by default. I have her cigarettes because I used to hide them. Yes, I did. I have her cigs. I will shortly trade her pack of cigs for some dates. For some dates. How do you know if you have a soul? You dream. Souls dream. That's how you know. Number one way you know you have a soul is you dream. Okay. Another way you know you have a soul is that you are always having guilt when you do something bad. Souls have accountability because they have a connection to source. They have a connection to the higher self. So those who lack empathy or lack compassion and lack, if they, you know, they usually lose parts of their soul imprint. So if you still dream, you have a soul. If you have accountability or guilt when you do bad, it doesn't matter if you do bad or good, but if you feel guilty every time you do bad, even if you're a murderer, you have a soul. Soulless people haven't any compassion. Most of your sociopaths are soulless beings. They're empty seaters. You ever meet an empty seater? They have black eyes. Their eyes are dark. There's no zest behind their eyes. Okay? So those are soulless people. Okay? All right. My grandparents told me to always keep $1. That's right. You brought $100 worth of seeds. That's good exchange too. I'll gladly exchange your seeds for some food. You know what I mean? Bots are always smart. The best children in schools are genetically synthetic. The best children that are the most, who retain the most information and sit still for 8 hours with non-complaints and have little or no connection, those are usually bots. Synthetic children that are homogenized, created for the system to be the leaders of the workers. You know, those are usually the ones that are the ones who will call the shots over workers. Flora, how do you know if you have a soul? Because I dream and I'm accountable. Beware all the free food. Oh, y'all shouldn't be taking any free food. I learned that in college. Did anyone go? Your university did that? I was taught by the most paranoid professors. My professors were so paranoid. They told me that you shouldn't take anything free from anyone. So my professor Jeffries said they experiment on 1% of the population without their knowledge. So by you taking something free, you're basically giving yourself the go-ahead for them to experiment on you. So y'all should be abundant enough to always have things. And if you don't have any food, you should be fasting. Did you guys see that movie? Oh, I just rashed up. Did you guys just see that movie? It's sick. I just saw it. Oh, it's called oh my God, you got to see this movie. It's with the floors. I just saw it last night. It freaked me out. Maybe I shouldn't tell you to go see it. Did you see a Platform? You knew what I was talking about. Cosmic knew the Platform. Oh my God. How'd you know I saw that? Oh, it was crazy. Oh, that was the sickest movie. It was so good. It was sick. It was a sick movie. It was just showing consciousness to people. Oh, it was like 333 floors. Oh, it was, listen, I couldn't stop watching it. Did you see it? Oh my God. The movie was like, okay, so listen, some people chose, or if you did a crime, you go on this place called the Platform. It's like the food. It's like the food games or the food. It's kind of like you compete for food. So if you were on the top floor, you had the most food. So they would always give you. They ask you these questions at the beginning before you go into this prison. Some people would choose to go there because they get a merit or something or some degree. So you go in there, and if you're on the top floor, before you get in, you tell them what you like, what's your main favorite food, and they have all these masterful chefs that make all this food, and the food goes to the first tier first, but it goes down all the way to 333 floors. And by the time it gets to like 57, there's like nothing there, and people are peeing on it, they're bleeding on it. And then when they get down to like floor 200, they're eating each other. It's like pure cannibalism. It's sick. I'm sorry, but that was a really good movie because it showed the non-humanity of people, how one will lose themselves if they are in that mindset. It's amazing, but it's sick. Don't watch it if you get creeped out. I thought it was amazing because it shows people's mindset. Flubber, tell people the best food to have in microgreens. They yield food in 15 days, 10 times the nutrition regular size green food. Listen, I love having sprouts. You can do alpha sprouts. Alpha sprouts. You can do forms of like all kinds of different sprouts. This microfoods are amazing microgreens. Actually, they don't have as many. They don't have those oxalates on them either. So if you do microgreens like that and you have sprouts, like you can fast and it doesn't have oxalates on it, so you can do fasting and you can do sprouts. Like you can literally eat sprouts a little bit each day and your immune system will kick up. And also it has a lot of it actually triggers your immune system to heal itself. Thank you for bringing that up. That's actually a wonderful conversation. Do you sprout? Lentil sprouts, they have various sprouts. Oh, who's getting kicked off? Trista said people are getting kicked off of YouTube. Bastards. YouTube, stop kicking my people off. Microgreens are wonderful. Thank you for that. Thank you for adding that. Everyone, please, that should be nice to have in your arsenal. If you can do that in your house, it's very easy to maintain a microgreen greenery space. You can also do your own indoor biodome. You could do it with you could do it with cellophane. You could do it with anything. You could do it with plastic cups. It's really good. So you aren't going to starve. Did you ever watch Survivor? I don't know if you ever watched Naked and Afraid. There was one episode of this vegan, and she was big into like microgreens, and she literally, and another gentleman, they literally lived for like 60 days. I think it was 30 to 60 days, and she was the only one not freaking out. It was the meat eater that was losing their mind. She sat there and she knew certain greens to eat. So she would go and find certain algae, certain greens. She would live off flowers. It was very beautiful. If you could ever find an episode of these two vegans that were on Naked and Afraid, it was amazing. And they actually were very calm, very serene. See, that is more what I promote as far as those who are in that vegan lifestyle. Those are really, really awesome vegans because you could tell they were very peaceful and they were about that life. So, hip pain, ashwagandha is excellent for hip pain. Ashwagandha is amazing. And also, quercetin. Where's Lynn? Lynn's on here. Lynn gave me a wonderful remedy for, those pains. Lynn, where's Lynn? Lynn, can you tell her what's good for, hip pains? Lynn had, I have it. I just forgot the name of it. Amika. Oh, Amika is good for pain. There, keep erasing. Who's erasing your comments, Nikki? The blackbirds are turning into women. Remember the blackbirds and women? Oh my, Nikki. Thank you, Nikki. Nikki. Oh my God. Okay, Nikki, that goes into the first video I did with the blackbirds and the women. Thank you, Nikki. Nikki, I want to make a whole, I'm going to go into that. I'm going to make a whole video about that. Thank you, Nikki. I'm going to do that. You got kicked out too? Who's kicking my people out? So disrespectful, YouTube. Thank you, Nikki. Nikki, remind me. I've got to talk about that. I really, turmeric, garlic, and vinegar are great. I wanted to give you, Lynn gave me something that was amazing for a friend of mine, and it was amazing, and it was for hip pain, and I want to tell you what it is, but she's not on here. Lynn probably stepped off for a minute, so if Lynn comes back, I'll have her tell you. It's amazing. Oh, um, Kamadi said something. Princess, glucose, glucosamine, contidin, and black seed oil is wonderful. Hey Zach, how you doing? Thank you, my love. Do the sprouts. You know what we should do? Sprout. Normally, you know what? I used to do more sprouts when I was in Pennsylvania. Thank you for reminding me that. I haven't done sprouts in such a long time. I used to do sprouts and flowers. That's when I was more of a raw vegan. When I was raw, I did a lot of sprouts. You know what I used to do with sprouts? I used to put them in my water. So a lot of times I would put sprouts, like I would do alfalfa sprouts. I would put it in my water and I would drink that with a little bit of sea salt. I would have that and would just kick up the alkalinity. So I would love that. So that was, I used to do a lot of sprouts when I was in Pennsylvania because I garden. Remember, majority of my food staple was about 70 to 90% of all my goods I grew myself. It was amazing. But I'm really excited about you mentioning that. It's time for us to get back into sprouting. It's very good for you. And also for this time when you're indoors, because sprouts don't require that much sun. As long as they get enough sun, they're good. And you could do your own biodome. It's actually good to do with your little ones. If you want to have fun with the little ones in the house, do some sprouting. The little ones love it. So if anybody has little ones like 3, 4, not 2, two's too young, but 3, 4, they would appreciate you doing microgreens and growing sprouts. They love the process. They think it's so cool to see the little seeds sprout, and you don't hurt them. Where did I get rid of the lead paint? Why did they get rid of? Well, listen, I got lead paint and I painted my canvas. I'm crazy. Listen. I got canvas. You know those canvas things you paint. You know, canvas that you put down when you're painting. So I got a little clever because I didn't want to put lead paint on my wall because I was like, maybe it's not good to have in a wall in the house. So I got a big canvas, and I know my neighbors thought I was crazy. I don't care. And I painted. Right? Didn't I do this? Right? I painted the canvas today. I had goggles and a mask on and gloves and tall socks, and I looked like an alien. And I did this in my driveway, and my neighbors thought I was crazy. And I painted the canvas and I let it dry, and then I folded it up, and I will put it over my biodome tent as an extra precaution when they throw in the frequency. Fleur, someone said a meteor hit Nigeria and blackbirds are turning into black women. Well, a meteor is, well, I wouldn't be so shocked if meteor hitting Nigeria. But the blackbirds, remember I did the video, and this is years ago. Some of you are from my YouTube channel. If you go to one of my first videos, it was talking about the blackbirds in Africa, and they were changing and they were shapeshifting into women. I know that is the truth. Now, is it happening here? It could be. So I want to research it first. I don't want to go too far because I don't know what if someone had an actual account of it. Way to go. I'm a real estate agent. I know all about the lead paint stuff. They banned it. I know they did, right, Trish? Disgusting. Trish, you were right. Oh, Trish was the one. Trish, weren't you the one? Trish was the one who said that the whole toilet paper thing was a PSYOP to see who would be influenced by some sort of social stimulus of some sort, and that's why they were buying the toilet paper. That was more of a social experiment. You were absolutely right, Trish. That was a social experiment, and many people failed. Trish was correct. Many people failed. They failed, Trish. They failed. When you bought the toilet paper in the droves and you started hoarding, you failed the test. You were literally under mind control. You should not be trusted. Yes. Okay, so let me state this. Yes, the blackbirds was associated with African women that were shapeshifting. They were called witches, and one was nearly killed to death when they saw her shapeshift. Now, this years ago, I did the story. I want to retouch that story because there's a lot of blackbirds. And the first time I saw a few of them, the ravens I associate with the shapeshifters more so than the crows. So we have to be careful because I personally think the ravens are the ones who shapeshifted into the women rather than the crows. I think the crows are just crows, but I can't vet it out. I have to get more intel. And the story in Nigeria, can someone share that if you have the story of the meteor hitting and they turned into, if anyone has it, can anyone share that? That'd be good. If anyone has the story, if you do, by chance, we would love to all research that tonight. I would love to know. Okay. My dogs are going crazy. Lindy, be careful. If they're going crazy, be mindful. There's something that's bothering them. And remember, the animals will react to the Saint G. Remember, the Holocaust survivors and their offsprings are afraid to be with no food. I'm sure they are. They're probably the biggest hoarders. I bet you the Ashkenazi community up, the Orthodoxy community up in Brooklyn, they got it all up in there. Israeli on YouTube. Oh, thank you. Wait. Aurora said Israeli news live on YouTube. Yeah, be careful about the animals. The animals will react to the Sanchi before anything else. So if you see your animals acting unnerved or starting to cry or whine or seem odd, I would take it seriously, and I would start to go to your bug-in location in your house and just Yoga Tom might be in your house with you. I don't know. Yoga Tom might just bug in your house. You might find Yoga Tom in the middle of your yoga mat in your bug out space. He won't bother you. He's not going to even eat. Yoga Tom has his own frequency. He thinks that he's in another dimension. So if Yoga Tom has bugged in your house, just say what's good. He's not going to eat your food. He probably just look at you really weird if you don't worry about him. They'll both react the same instinctively. But the video on the internet doesn't actually show the woman. Is that the old woman? The old video? That might be the old video I did. I did the old video. I hope it's not that. You painted too today? A beautiful star sky. Beautiful. You painted today? Beautiful starry sky. My partner and I got the most beautiful canvases for my birthday. Aw! Happy birthday! Break up 1, 2, 3. Happy solar return, my love. That's so nice. I love painting. Painting with your partner is such amazing. Oh, that's a bot? Am I responding to AI? Do you see that guy? I always share his videos in the community. I think he's funny as all heck. What's his name? He is... oh! Cockroaches. What's his name? I share him in... I love his videos. He's always making fun of, like, the most... biggest idiosyncrasies we suffer from. Like the vegans, remember he was Yoga Tom, he was sitting and they had a fight about kale being the most nutritious food. He was hilarious. I was losing it. All right, so watch the guy talking about the toilet, he was watching his butt. He said you could use the kale to wipe your butt. Or the hose. Yeah, he's funny as you should watch him. It'll build up your humor for this whole time. He's got that sense of humor. It's hilarious. Oh, the bots are in here. Uh-oh. As soon as we start talking about the black birds. So okay, family. So last recap before I go. April Fools is gonna be a Fool's Day. Mind your business. Stay in your house. If you hear something pop up, stay away from the windows. Have your bug-in spot. Make sure you know where your bug-in spot. Does everyone know where their bug-in spot is? You should have your bug-in spot somewhere. If you have yards, it should be in the backyard, away from the house, away from electronics. If you're in an apartment, it should be like in the middle of the floor somewhere where you know it's as neutral electromagnetically. You know, make sure that you are staying with metal off of you. So take all your metal off. So if the lights go off, just take your metal off. You shouldn't have metal in the house. For those who have tattoos, we talked about you muting your tattoos, putting Play-Doh, putty, clay on your bodies. You should be chelating. Okay. You shouldn't be consuming any metals at this point. Avoid all metals. Also, we talked about the cucarachas. Keep your frequency high. Stay positive. Stay out of fear. If anyone's sending you tons of cucarachi videos, rebuke them. Rebuke them in every which way. Okay. Make sure that you have a little cash on hand. So Chase blocked access to security deposit boxes. Someone asked me if I had a what? Why are they blocking? Because they planning for people to die. Oh, let me explain something, family. Some of these Zionists are already trying. Big up to my homie. He told me that one of these Zionists that a friend works for is trying to send her paychecks late because he knows something's gonna happen. They're trying to keep, because they know people are gonna die. Because you know, if you die and no one claims your safety box, they could claim it, right? Oh, somebody from the Illuminati contacted you on your birthday saying they were an agent. Oh, I hope you rebuke them, Megan. Rebuke them. So I'm not on your timeline. You had a dream about a black python. Beautiful on the lawn. Garbage past it. It was not scared. Gia, it's probably you down with the Anunnaki. The Niburians. You down with the Niburians. The Nega. If you have connection to the serpent, remember John X does. You have connection to the serpent. Remember the Maya Andromedans that I'm in contact with. They're part of that serpent lineage. Okay, we got Syrians, Lyrians. We got all kinds of beings on here. Remember, there's a lot of beings here too who are watching, spectators. A lot of people are in contact with their celestial families, or the celestial families are in contact with you. Okay. Oh wait, we got some intel. Wizard Bay. The best remedy for the pneumonia is saline water, glycose, xylitol, plant sugar, saline water, plant sugar, xylose, pharmaceutical grade plant sugar. I have some. 5 carbons viruses cannot survive. Thank you, Wizard. Wizard Bay coming in with some intel. Thank you, Wizard. I did that whole prepping video with all the stuff we have. What else did we touch? Okay, so Sanctuary, we're hearing that there may be a false flag in New York. So you may have explosions. I don't want to say the word B-O-B, B-O-M-B. B-O-M-B may go off, mind your business. There's going to be false flags. They're trying to smoke y'all out. You're trying to cause you fear. If you hear a B-O-M-B, you should drop it like it's hot. You should turn on DMX, your most crumped up song, Onyx, and start dancing. Okay? So if you hear BMOBs, you need to dance. Unless it's hitting your building, you need to dance it off. Get that frequency out of you. Okay? Because they're gonna try to smoke you out, put you in fear. Rebuke their fear. Okay, so as soon as you hear, you're like, oh, that's my jam. Then just let the boys be boys. Slam. Okay, stay out of that fear, because fear will pull you into a paradigm of nightmare. Unless it's touching you personally, it isn't your business. Stay away from your windows. Some pop off unless you want to take a picture. Then just put the camera above and take the picture. Right? You sleepy? You hot? You hot? It's warm out here? Yeah. Take a picture from I'm one of those. I'll be like this. Click, click. Click, click. I'll be taking pictures underneath the windowsill. Yeah. I'm in my tent. You hear me? I'm in my tent. I'm in my bug-in location. This is my bug-in location. I have created my bug-in location. We have snacks of mass destruction, which is nothing. We ran out of snacks, right? We don't have any snacks. We don't have any snacks, right? We don't have any snacks. And I got the little ones with me. I'm bugging in with the little people. I'm a mom. Listen, I'm the opposite of Becky, but I'm a mom on site. I'm a mama bear on site. I got my little people with me at all times. My cubs are always with me. This is my new cubby. What is it called? What are they? Their little what's the little thing they have? My no, you know when the cubs where they stay in the cubs?
Cave?
No, they're little. What's it called?
Den?
Den. This is my little den.
Oh, that's
My
right.
cubs. I got my cubs with me. I stay with my cubs. So I'm in my bug-in location. So have everything set up. They have massive military on. Listen, Florida, y'all need to stop trying to come to Florida. They got Florida locked down because all the New Yorkers are trying to come to Florida. So they said if you try to come to Florida, oh yeah, I've got my ham radio. If anybody hears anybody called Compost Chick, that is Flurbrone. My name is Compost Chick. So if you hear me on the if you hear me on the ham radio, I'm Compost Chick. And if you hear music in the background, you know it's me. So you'll be like, oh, that's Flurbrone. Okay, so I'm Compost Chick on the ham radio. You should all have your ham radios turned. 13 is the okay. So 13 is if you have the number on your ham radio. If you have close proximity, close waves, is 13. I'm always on the 13. So if you see 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, I'm always on 13s. Okay. So I'm on a ham radio, and my frequency is always on 13. So if you hear me and you hear music, you know it's Compost Chick. You know it's me. Okay? Okay? You're always going to hear me. And if you don't have close proximity, remember, it's good to have the ham radio because you can always have the radio. So you can know what's going on. Because if all the all the cell phones and everything go down on your ham radio, you can at least hear you can hear the civil servants, you can hear everything around. Usually you hear the truckers, the CBs, you hear the other people on the CBs. Usually the bug out people, they all talk to each other. So you usually can go a little further. So if yours doesn't go so far, you can usually talk to somebody who's got a little further distance than you. Okay? Do I have a license? I got a lot of licenses. Compost Chick. Yeah. How can you refuse? You just stay invisible. It isn't about refusing. You want to make sure you aren't refusing. Being anti to something brings something to you. Okay? So the more that you fight something, the more that you attract it. You know the law of metaphysics, right? The more that you fight something is the more that you attract it. So you want to make sure you aren't fighting anything or anti anything. You want to be pro life and healthiness. You want to be pro healthiness. You want to be pro safe. Okay. So the more that you stay in safety and healthiness, and you accept that you are safe and you are healthy, then there isn't anything that it can approach you. You'll be invisible. The day they come, you won't be there. The day they come and dismiss your house. The day they come, they won't even know you're there. They may not even know to even do that. They may not even do it. So make sure you stay out of anti anything. Okay? What you resist persists. Thank you, Turtle Flow Yoga. Absolutely on point. That's the number one frequency, metaphysical principle that you need to know. Absolutely. So just staying chill, stay healthy and good, play good music, happy music, stay lovely, stay with the kids, hugged up with your little people, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your lover, stay loved up. Okay? Same will attract to like. Remember, this is a time where same will come to Skeksis come to Skeksis. Mystics come to mystics. The person who comes to your door may be so compassionate, they'll say, you know what? I'll say I gave it to you and I didn't. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. Stay in that light frequency because you will meet the other mystics. The mystic will knock at your door and they may have a job to do and they may say they did it and they may just say, you know what? I really respect you and I'm going to move on and I'll say I gave it to you. Okay? So just stay in that. Okay? Mystics are only with mystics. If you see somebody who you thought was a mystic hanging with a Skeksis, that's a Skeksis. Stay clear of Skeksis unless you're a Skeksis yourself. If you're a Skeksis, you want to hang with other Skeksis, okay? I think that's it, family. So, April Fool's Day to the 10th. It's supposed to kick off, but when I checked, it may happen later. I think it may even happen the third. To be honest, I think they're going to try to make it seem like something will happen on the first, and then the third something kicks off because people will just be like, "Oh, it didn't happen." Bam, everything goes down. I always take it like this. Whenever they remember, they predictively program how we'll react. So the fact of the matter is, there's too many Intellis online saying it's going to happen April 1st. They already know what we do. So the fact of the matter is that they think that we're all telling everybody April 1st. I always go with the fool's theory. If the first doesn't happen, 2 and 3 days later, it'll probably happen. Okay. So if it doesn't happen on the first, chances are they know what we're already saying and they'll do it later. Because when I checked the Blue Mountains, it was blacked out into the 15th. So that means they have enough. And April 7th is a full moon. Was it full moon in Aries? Oh, wars and war. It's rumors of war. Mind your business. Stay away from the windows. Answer the door only to those. I wouldn't even answer the door. There shouldn't be anybody coming to your house right now. Fleur, when will our abilities? Your abilities are already starting. For those who are getting their abilities online, it's already starting. Your telepathy is off the chain. Just today, one of our sea stars from New York, met me at the museum. Big up to those who did the meet and greet with me in Manhattan at the Museum of Metropolitan Museum. I was feeling to contact somebody from the meet and greet. I was like, I gotta contact someone for the meet and greet. It was bothering me all day. She's probably on here. I was like, I gotta contact them. And lo and behold, what did I get? An email with one of the sea stars from the meet and greet. Your telepathy and your psychic kinetic abilities are all online right now. Your spidey senses are online. It's just gonna increase. Each of you have different abilities. Some of you have more of one as opposed to another. Some of you have a multitude of different ones. That's what I'm saying. Some of you will be invisible. So you shouldn't worry about any vaccinations. If you're the one who bleeps out, I call you bleepers, there wasn't anybody who's going to see you anyway. They won't even know your house is there. You might actually holographically remove your house so they won't see it. So many people will have their abilities turn on. It's already happening. Your dreams are showing it. I already knew somebody was coming into Florida because I already had them show up. So everything is turning on. So for those who are waiting for their abilities, your abilities are already here. They're starting. It will be as we enter into 5D, remember you get unlocked. These are codons that are unlocked. These are your natural innate abilities. They're already here. You have these abilities. You wouldn't be able to access them until there was a time where it matched the frequency of your environment. So for the nature of us going into 5D, and we're going up into the higher planes with beings who are celestials, like the Niburians who are here, because we are in that neck of the woods now at that time, and the third sun is becoming more magnetically active. It's going to initiate and also activate your latent codons and awaken them. And you will perpetually keep having more and more symptoms of the being, it's not super being, it's who you really are, but it's just because now you're going into a frequency where it's applicable to who you are. Okay? You can only have access to those things if you're in that time frame. All right? You hear frogs? You hear the frogs? Listen, they're mating. You hear that? Thank you, Akachi. Thank you, Akachi Ra. I appreciate it. Thank you, my love. You hear that? It's so cool. It's mating season in Florida. You see all the bees are mating. The ravens were mating in my tree. The frogs are mating. That's the sound they make when they mate. So when the two of them come together, you hear that? They get really loud. I'm behaving myself. I got my little people around. Anyway, so all right, family. So just be mindful of the next couple days, okay? And make sure, I also denoted that quinine is important. Listen to KT's video, his last video, which was the bomb.com. I'm just so enamored by this this being. He talked about quinine. Have that in your bug in situation. So y'all should be going out tomorrow and getting some quinine. That is tonic, Okay, so it's good to have. It's wonderful for when Chin already gave us the whole. Thank you, Marcus. Marcus put KT's video up there. KTArchesthebomb.com. I just, like I said, I heard him talk. I was having all kind. I was I love nerds. I love being a nerd because I love other nerds. Fleur, do you have tips for people who are not used to out of body experiences, how to control it? Being more conscious. You have to be more lucid. When you're out of body, if you're not used to it, it's because you're not very lucid in your dreams. You got to build up your lucidity. And people say, how do you build up your lucidity? You got to start to practice. So a way to get used to your out of body experiences is to practice your lucidity in your dream state. So write yourself notes, put them underneath your pillow. Then you'll see them in your dreams, and you'll start to remind yourself in your dream that it's a dream. Once you kick up your lucidity in dreams, once you get out of body, you'll be very, very conscious. Okay. Super duper conscious. Okay. So it just takes practice. That's all it is. But try to work with your dream state, because it's easier to control. It's easier to awaken yourself in a dream, and then you can master your travels out of body. Okay. Doing a lot of meditation does help too, because if you get to a point in meditation where you actually can consciously remove yourself from your body, then you can have actually you can actually focus on training yourself to be much more aware in that state. Flubber, and tell people to get the book No More Allergies, Asthma to Sinus Infections by Line Jones to get rid of pneumonia. Oh, thank you, Wizard Bay, coming in with the intel. Did everybody get that? Wizard Bay just said, go get the book, No More Allergies, Asthma. Oh, wait, why is this coming up? Uh-oh. Okay. By Lon Jones to get thank you, Wizard Bay. Listen, y'all getting gems tonight. We got some amazing people on here. This is our team. This is the Mystics. Listen, y'all, if you are in the house, please put a like on the video if you're in the house, if you appreciate the intel and you appreciate the crew in here. This is the Mystics playground. We part of the 144, and the Mystics are those herbalists, those naturopathics, those beautiful magicians, those beautiful doulas, these are the Mystics. So everybody in here just has that mystic. There aren't many Skeksis. The Skeksis are hiding in the bushes right now, plotting and planning mass destruction. These are all the Mystics in here. They've got all kinds of beautiful remedies and everything. That's what I'm saying. You're in alignment of the Mystics right now. We talk about it all the time. Oh, Megan said, Kirk is well. Why you asking about Kirk? Y'all trying to bring up shade. Kirk is well. Who's asking? Why you want to know how Kirk's doing? Kirk is doing well. Are you a spy for Kirk? Kirk is doing well. Trying to cause ish. Local honey erases allergies, absolutely. Turpentine. I don't know about turpentine. Kirk is in. Don't know who Kirk is. Turpentine. I don't. There's people who rave about it. I can't tell you too much about it because I don't mess with it. I'm a woman of a certain age. All of my business. I don't really take turpentine because I don't mess with anything that I don't know how, I don't know what the effects is, because it's a little too strong. I'm a woman of a certain age. If I haven't messed with it yet, I probably won't. It kills parasites. We need to throw turpentine on Times Square. We want to get rid of parasites. We need to take the turpentine and give it to the diabolical ones. All right, family. So I'm gonna head on out. I really appreciate you were live from Florboon's Bug-In tent. So you guys actually were in live with me the entirety of the time in the tent. Okay. So this is my tent. It's beautiful. I don't see the stars right now. I'm gonna look at the stars. I've got my cubs next to me. We're bugging in, okay? This is my bug-in location, all right? So, make sure that you guys stay, grounded and healthy, um, and keep yourself conscious, okay? Cats are fighting. That's not a good sign. Heads up, or heads down rather. Just getting your yoga tom spot. Get in your yoga tom spot. Go get in the yoga tom spot. You'll be okay. All right, family, I'm off. Enjoy. I will come to you again from another location, and I want you all to be safe and happy and grounded. All right. Peace out, my lovely mystics. That's my cob. Fleur Room coming to you as Compost Chick with the cubs from the tent. All right. I love you. Peace.